Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Salute to everybody, man. Goodness gracious. A lot of people up in here already, man. Salute to everybody, man. Another 2 hour show, you gotta be kidding me. Salute to everybody that was here last night, man. I was on for maybe 7 hours collectively. Mark was here for like 8. He made here for like 8, 9, 10 hours. But I went on after the show. I did. I was on another show. I think it was 2 hours. Then we went to my show, which was like 3 hours. Then I went to another show that went to like 3 a.m. It was crazy. And the funniest thing is that as tight as we were, is like we kept wanting to talk about the Knicks. I mean, we got into a whole bunch of conversations, interesting ones. We got into whether, salute to everybody that was there. I mean, it's Teddy Flat, Rick War, Big Freezy, and God of Moses Elijah. He was up in there, really. He's gonna start some stuff, man. He's gonna start his own channel. So definitely support that once he does that. But definitely pose an interesting question. He got mad at me that I wouldn't take. Now for you guys in the chat, because I was sounding crazy, also because I was dumb tired. But they killed me because they proposed a trade of Bradley Beal for MPJ, a first rounder from and Bol and Jeremy Grant signing trade, all for Bradley Beal. So, definitely consider. We could talk about that, but let me get at some clutch points stuff. So, Chauncey Billups and Larry Drew set to join Ty's Clipper staff, Tyronn Lue's Clipper staff. So I believe this would be Billups' first like assistant coaching role, because he definitely wanted to become a coach for the past like 2 years. He was angling to become a coach, but things I guess didn't work out. But this might be a place where he can bring in some of his expertise. Obviously, everybody knows Big Game Billups, the general of that famed 2003-2004 Pistons team that beat the Lakers in the finals. One of my favorite teams to watch, just because they were so good defensively. So he'll be joining that squad. I mean, right now they are in a weird precarious position. They don't have draft picks. They don't really have a legit point guard. They do. I mean, they have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, but obviously Paul George is not that guy, especially in clutch situations. Kawhi Leonard literally has an option to opt out after the season. So they are in a precarious position. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tyronn Lue, but if you could bring as many guys with as much experience as possible, got to shoot for stars, because the way they came out, I mean, that was a big disappointment for the Clippers. Regardless of how their team was constructed, whatever, they had big aspirations to be the Lakers killers in the finals, and it didn't work. Or Lakers killers out in the West, and it didn't work. So we'll definitely see how that comes about. Some people may disagree that coaches don't really mean much. In this situation, I'm not really sure about, Chauncey Billups, especially Tyronn Lue. I just feel Tyronn Lue is kind of like a zero in regards to coaching. I'm not the biggest fan of him at all. I think he's just basically a puppet, but we'll see. We'll see. Some other interesting news. Well, this thing is more just speculation, just because people are bored and just want to get to the draft. Timberwolves leaning towards selecting a surprise number 1 pick of the NBA draft. According to it doesn't say who it is. I guess multiple sources have told Bleacher Report the name they keep hearing now for the Timberwolves is James Wiseman, according to Jonathan Wasserman. Some within the Golden State Warriors think Wiseman's going number 1, whether Minnesota keeps a pick or not. One source plugged into the conversation. So that would definitely be interesting. Obviously, they have Big Cat as a guy, but let me see what Cat has on his contract. Spot track. So he has until, I need my glasses badly. Holy crap. Expires in 2024. That's a big long-term contract. So, some people. I think somebody posted on my video. Can you put Cat at the 4? Not really sure if Cat's a 4. Wiseman is definitely not a 4. Um, I mean, if you can make it work, you make it work, but I just don't see that happening. So that would mean you'd have to get rid of Karl Towns. So I mean, this is just speculation. I doubt this happens. I don't really see it. Let me see what you guys are talking about. God Moses Elijah, what up? What up? What up? Nuggets don't need Bill, cool, but definitely Bill value. Well, put like this. Like I brought up the notion that we're not entirely sure. Hold on, let me go to all my peeps on Sportscaster. Apologize for leaving you guys out on the cold. Of course, my computer was acting stupid. All right, let me go to Sportscaster. Make sure anybody's in here. So yeah, where we at? The thing with MPJ, it scares me now. Again, I didn't kill the Knicks because of the back issues, but MPJ as an offensive talent, I think he has a really high ceiling if he's healthy. And also Bol, just with the way the NBA is going with these stretch fours. Bol's a guy who can shoot. I mean, we don't know where he is. I mean, obviously he had some injury issues as well too. But if Bol's a guy who can give me high 30% from 3, also play with a back to the basket game, give me 20 or 30 minutes, whether he plays with a Jokic or comes off the bench for Jokic. Now, I do think the Nuggets need a defensive big, because many times you see when Jokic is in, and they'll take out Jokic to play Plumlee. They need a defensive big, maybe preferably a 4, a 3-and-D guy. And yesterday in that terrible draft that we had, salute to everybody was there, especially Ernesto with his terrible picks. The guy picked for them was Woodard from Mississippi State. The guy who's like 6'7", has a 7-foot wingspan. So a true 3-and-D guy, can run the floor, is great in defense. So it's definitely a guy that I think will fit for the Nuggets. But again, all that value, man, for Bradley Beal, I think when you talk about scoring guards, now people say, okay, you put Bradley Beal in there. Bradley Beal 6'3". You have Bradley Beal, Gary Harris, and Murray. Does that work? All 3 of those guys? I mean, I'm just not sure how that works. Now, people say, oh, he scored 30 points. But again, he's doing that on a really bad team where they really don't have any of the dynamic players or healthy ones last year, right? How does that 30 points translate to another team? Now, this is the thing, right? And I apologize for not being as, alert yesterday because I was just so damn tired. You look at so many teams where they're like, yo, let's just put the talent together and it's going to work. And many times they're teams where they put the talent together and it doesn't fit. It's not about, okay, this guy scores 30, he scores 20, he scores whatever, right? It's about who's sacrificing for what. The last team to do that was successful were the Heat, and they needed Dwayne Wade to play a backseat to LeBron James. Despite the fact that Dwayne Wade has won a championship in that first year, he had better stats that first year than in subsequent seasons. You need all 3 guys to be on board each other, and I don't see those intangibles they see in a D Wade in a Murray, Harris, and Beal, right? I think we have to be careful because again, Beal. For some reason, I thought Beal was like 6'5". This was only 6'3", and he needs a ball in his hands. And he's a volume guy now. His efficiency is fairly good. I believe he shot 45% from the field. Last year, like 36 or 38% from 3 was above average. 38 obviously is better. I'm just not sure about all that value. And see, he was saying he can make players better, but then see this thing about it, I don't like God Mosiah. You say you can make guys better, but then you also make the excuse that he didn't have talent on his team. That's why they suck last year. So what is it? Is he making guys better? Right? When you say make guys better and you have that superlative talent, you should be in the playoffs, right? Chris Paul got that that not great Hornets team to the playoffs because he legit made players better. Who do you have? J.R. Smith, David West, and did he even have David West? No, he had David West on that team. I'm not sure if he still had J.R. Smith on that team. But he had Tyson Chandler. That was when I believe they got swept by the Spurs. But he legit made players around him significantly better for them to get to the playoffs, right? I just don't see that. I think Bradley Beal is an excellent scorer. But yeah, look, if he got to the Nuggets, would they be good? But again, The Nuggets, I think their biggest issue was one, they didn't have a defensive big to run with Jokic, right? Outside of Plumlee, they had some decent role players. Millsap's getting older, and Jeremy Grant, those two missed some clutch 3-pointers down the line against the Lakers. So you need some legit 3-and-D players who are coming in, guys with size as well too, because a backcourt of a point guard of those three, Beal, Murray, and Harris. I'm not really sure how that works. Yo, salute to everybody on Sportscaster, man. Johnny Sox, Uncle Freezy, of course, Teddy Flett. So my guy Teddy Flett, man, came in the building from Cincinnati, man. He talked like a real Ohioan, if that's what you call it, bro. My cousin's from Ohio. They talk the same way, man. But salute to everybody. Yeah, but see, Bill's price isn't higher. No, I'm talking about Bradley Beal for the Nuggets. It was just talking around. Gavin Mozart says if Washington wants to tank for a lottery pick, then that is Washington's goals, not Bradley Beal's goals. Oh, I guess that's somebody else. Because I was just talking about talent wise. So some other stuff, man. Damn, now my brain just went blank. What the hell was I going to bring up? Oh, so Rick Ward brought up a good question. Well, he brought one of his Rick Ward questions to basically challenge you. Suit to New York Knicks, man. And Teddy Flett, Theo Flett, what's up? What up? Marquise Walker, what up? Triborough, what up? Everybody, what up, man? Stephen Fox, Siobhan Robinson, Adele Chapman, the father in this BII itch. Salute, man. So he brought up the notion of how does Devin Vassell make players around him better, right? Because I kept saying that Devin Vassell, I think, is a good compliment to RJ Barrett, right? And he said, well, how does he make the other players better? So, and I apologize, this I was tired, but I did bring up now his defense in the backcourt. Vassell's defense in the backcourt makes it a way easier job for a guy like Mitchell Robinson, who still has to work on footwork, work on balance, work on not jumping and being so antsy, playing more on his versus the tip of his toes, so he's not jumping for fakes and drawing fouls. He helps big time. If you have a point guard, or you have a guard, who can't defend his man, you put a lot more onus, right, on Mitch Robinson. There's a difference. Like, there's a difference between you driving, you forcing your player into the center, into advanced position for all you guys. So, for instance, if you have a guy like Devin Vassell, and he's forcing that whoever he's guarding to basically try to drive on the baseline, right? So he's covering, and the only spot or place I say is the baseline, but you have Mitchell Robinson who's right there on that block to block it, and you're deep in the shot clock. That guy's not going to have a lot of time to pass. He has to make a shot, and it's not going to be an advantageous shot with basically a cup of Mitch and Vassell, right? So that's one thing. Another thing with Vassell, when you look at some of the players, even offensively, when you have guys who post a lot, so say, because he wants me to talk about guys who on the team right now. So say I brought up the idea that if you have a guy like Vassell, he allows your point guards a lot freer lanes to the basket. Many times last year, because we don't have good shooting guards, a guy like Overpaint, you know what he's going to do. You back up off of him, or you basically gear for him to drive to the paint or through the heart of defense. Once he does, once he does that, he doesn't really have an advantage, right? Because the guy who's guarding, say, one of the perimeter players who on our team who can't shoot, right? He's just going to come in and help cheat. Then what are you going to pass it out to, say Knox is not shooting well, or even any of our other guards who can't really shoot, right? They're just going to get the ball on the perimeter and do what with it, right? A guy like Devin Vassell keeps that defense, that collapsing defense, a lot more honest. So that's Peyton, that's Mitchell Robinson. So point guard position, he's playing the two, obviously. I already mentioned RJ Barrett. And then even with a guy like Randall, the fact that Randall likes to operate a lot from the post, put like this, look, he had issues pass out the double team, but when I watch him with the Pelicans, it's not as if he can't do it. So one thing I think with with Julius Randle is that he didn't trust his teammates to make those shots, right? So he's going to sit there and try to do all this razzle dazzle, keep the ball, try to turn in through the defense and make those ugly Odin Polynice type of turn to fade away, turn into these moves to try to get out the double team, and it ends up in an ugly possession, right? You have a guy like Vass who could come around to the top of the key, come around a pick on the wing where that's basically flashing in Randall's eye vision while he's backing up, and he can make that pass, right? And now you have to respect a guy like Randall. You can't double team as easy because you're not going to let a guy like Vassell take those open shots. Like, I just don't understand. And he made Rick Ward made the notion that we shouldn't depend on. You can't just bring him in and bring him as like the scoring guy. Well, no, he's not the guy who's going to sit there and score. He just opens up the game for everybody else. And obviously, his shooting is a bonus. Not bonus, excuse me. His shooting is one of his main weapons, right? I'm not sitting here and saying that Vassell should be averaging 20 points, 45% from three, but he adds an element that we're sorely missing. We are lacking three-point shooting. The Knicks are one of the bottom teams. I used to read this. I don't know if I'm going to read this out, but one of the bottom teams in three-point shooting. You know what I mean? One of the bottom teams in three-point shooting. So to me, it's just like Vassell just does a lot more than some of these other players that people are looking at. I know people like Isaac Okoro. There's a lot of development that goes with Isaac Okoro. Let me see what you guys say. I could never forget Bullock imploring Randall to shoot free throws over Randall to Randall. Odin, I just like making fun of Odin Polynice, man. That dude, I don't know, he just looks funny to me. His name is funny sounding. He's Haitian. I'm not Haitian or Haitian. Me and my brother always makes fun of Odin Polynice, but I don't know why. We're stupid like that. But then Vassell will never make other players better, but he's a player who will get better playing with the superstar. That's a reach. That's a reach. Yeah, we need a. How does a guard who can shoot and space the floor help a team who can't shoot and space the floor? You add a whole element to the team, right? People are thinking that Vassell is going to help it. You don't necessarily have to help a team by passing and assisting, right? Your proficiency or your ability to do something on the court, if it opens up the game for everybody else, right? Say your top players, you just say your most productive players use Randall, right? And he's constantly getting double teamed, right? And he's making stupid decisions out of double teams. So you're talking about turnovers out of double teams, bad shots out of double teams, right? Bad passes, even maybe out of double teams, right? I don't get how opening up his game, right? If he's our most productive player, just saying this, service level, right? If he's our most productive player, how's that not making the team better, right? So I'm on Sportscaster right now, Theo Flat. I'm on both right now. So yeah, I'm just confused as to like how that works. But I'm gonna put some James Wiseman film. Again, guys, fair use, and more fair use, and more fair use. 1,000% fair use. I'm not stealing this. Go to Hoop Intellect and go check them out. I like their channel. So I'm going to show some James Wiseman because people talk about James Wiseman. Some people talk about Okongwu. I'm not the biggest fan of James Wiseman like that. I think that he's really raw. I do think he has some talent, and we talked about his shooting. I think it's when they say he's a good shooter. I think that he has he shoots. I'm not sure if he necessarily shoots well. Again, one of his issues, I believe, was that some guys his size, they could give him issues strength-wise, right? When he sets up back to the basket plays, like his footwork and his body balance isn't great because he doesn't know how to assert his strength and size against guys who are as big as him, right? So I think we were talking about what is the difference between Wiseman and Mitch to where Mitch is trending, right? Is it that big of a gap where you give up, say Wiseman does drop to the 8th? I doubt he does. But is it that big of a gap where Wiseman is a can't miss prospect? So I think that's what Moses was talking about yesterday, right? We're talking about, is this guy right? You can't teach 7-1, but that's also an overrated stat, man. At this point in age, this point in time, excuse me, wow, I'm still messing from yesterday. If you are 7-1 and can't shoot, can't space the floor, you need to be down low. You are, I don't want to say obsolete, but you're less valuable in the NBA. Andre Drummond could give you a double-double easily, but he has to stay in the block. That's 7-1, right? That's 7-1, right? So, and again, people, the stream ain't showing on Sportscaster. It is. It's right here. Hold up. Stream's right here on Sportscaster, bro. Yeah. Wiseman smart on offense. I don't doubt that. I think that, but also how he's developed from high school because he only played how many games at Memphis, right? I think he had a knack to have more of an offensive repertoire versus Mitch, who came really raw from high school. Now, Mitch again is a second-round pick, right? So if you're not convinced by Mitch, you shouldn't fall in love with it and say, and not pick a guy like Wiseman. If you think Wiseman's that guy, I know God Moses Elijah yesterday. Salute to God Moses Elijah. I'm not picking him at all, man. That's the dude right there. You know, he's gonna get his channel up. We were talking about he's definitely gonna get his channel up. But he got a lot of knowledge as a Knicks fan, basketball fan. But you know, is Wiseman a can't miss prospect? You know what I mean, I think this draft we're getting a little bit of draft delusion, right? And I'm not saying he's delusional, but we're getting a little delusional with some of these players. Like I'm not sure if I'm moving up for this guy, right? If this was AD, you're damn right I'm moving up for him. But is this guy a transcendent talent as a big? See, good shooting potential, right? He shot 70% from the free throw line, right? And he does have good form, right? But sometimes even guys with good form never turn out to be good shooters, right? And I think for a big, 70% is fairly solid, right? I don't know the average for centers, but 70% I think is actually decent for big men. Obviously, for all players are mostly guards and guys who are supposed to be or typically looked at as shooters is not necessarily the best, but 70% is I think is okay. So post polish, yep, mentioned that. Lower body core strength, yep. He struggles against guys who, let's see this. It's a very Mitch Robinson type of play. I mean, it's only one play, but jumping on your feet, not using your size. You're 7'1", bro. You don't need to jump for a guy who is nowhere near as explosive and is not as twitchy. I mean, that's not the worst play. You made the guy pass. The other guy made a shot, so it's not the worst. So we're just watching some film right now on James Wiseman. Because I'm just trying to find where's the transcendent talent. You also got to be convinced by this coaching staff right now. Given that Thibodeau did have a cat, and he did work with Joakim Noah, so he can make the big men effective, whether they have the preternatural talent to, the prerequisite talent coming from high school, wherever it may be, to be a good offensive center, or if they don't, right? You turn them into a Noah defensive player, can facilitate from the foul line, from the wing, do a lot of the dirty work, but not be a black hole. Actually, be one of your initiators on offense. His passing for those Bulls team was great. I mean, it was good. The little, when you hold the ball in the air, then a guy will curl around him and he'll like do the little handoff pick thing, where he's kind of like giving it to his teammate, but picking the guy that was on him and then running to the basket. If the defense comes and tries to get back help on the ball handler, So I mean, Tom Thibodeau, I have no doubt that if a guy like James Wiseman came to the Knicks, I think that you'll get a legit big man with offensive repertoire, improved shooting. I think his shooting will improve with a guy like Tom Thibodeau. He's definitely going to work hard, but is that better? Can he do something like that with his high ceiling is DeAndre Jordan? That's a weird comp. I think he's a little bit more. I think he's a little more polished than DeAndre Jordan offensively, or a little bit more versatile. Excuse me, than him. But yeah, that's just. There was another video that broke it down fairly well. There's another one I saw that broke down like his shooting and everything. Oh, the unicorn trees. Oh yeah, Yep, I'm telling you, bro. People sleeping on Jalen Smith, bro. People are sleeping on Jalen Smith. Wiseman doesn't have Noah's IQ. Well, yeah, I'll give you a look. Noah did come from. He had the championship pedigree of Florida, right? Two chips. Had Horford, Corey Brewer, and who else do you have in that Florida team? Noah, Corey Brewer, and Horford. That was a terrible comp. I don't see the comp, man. That was a terrible comp. And they usually have good videos, man. Let's see what you guys say. If I could get Wiseman, let me stop sharing the screen. If I could get Wiseman, I would consider shipping Mitch Robinson and Knox and either Frank or DSJ. Frank DSJ, I'm not opposed to. Even Knox, I'm not necessarily opposed to. I'm just saying with Mitchell Robinson because we have so many holes, right? If this was a team that was stiff in the playoffs and we just need a more dynamic big man, and you're talking about, we have so many holes. That center is not necessarily one of our worst holes, right? I just don't. And especially with the way NBA is going, he's not a guy who's going to space the floor out like that right now. So he has to work into that, right? So he's still going to have a lot of the same issues that we've had as Knicks with the Knicks, right? Lack of good shooting, lack of point guard play. You know what I'm saying? Like this. How do you take? Do you take Wiseman over a LaMelo or even a Killian Hayes? I don't know. I don't know. People are a little mixed on Killian Hayes. I'm mixed on Killian Hayes too. But at this point, even a talented developmental, but developmental in a sense that he has an offense there, just has to be a little bit more proficient, and maybe playing with better players around him might work, or on an NBA level might work. What's your thoughts on Daniel Turner? I watched some film of Daniel Turner before. He has good footwork. If I remember, I don't think he shoots at all or space the floor at all. I remember the highlights I was watching with him at Minnesota. He had really good footwork. But he's a guy who's probably going to stand a block. If I remember, let's just watch it. Because I remember I was on NBK and we were talking about Daniel Turner a while ago. Because I think we were just talking about all the big men in the draft or something. It was on one of Sim's channel episodes. I forgot what it was. I think it was like, yeah, he has really good footwork, all that stuff, but he's not going to space the floor. He's not a shooter. Can you guys see this? Guys, again, fair use. Again, fair use. Go to Hoop Intellect and go subscribe, like the video. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember this dude. I guess shooting potential. Maybe he did shoot a little bit. I just don't remember him shooting. And I don't watch enough of him. I've just been enamored with Jalen Smith, man. That was the guy I want if we're gonna get a big, especially if Wiseman's off the board. What was he, 6'10"? Yeah, I think he's all right. I don't think he's. I think the mode now, if you're like 6'9", oh, that hurt. If you're 6'9", 6'10", they put you in the Bam Adebayo mode, right? Like a strong, kind of quick big man who has those moves, can facilitate, and has a little mid-range to him. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he does have good footwork, if I remember. But one thing though is that one thing I'm scared of is that if you can't do anything else, if you have to stay on the post or the block, how much opportunity will you get in the NBA where the game is kind of big men have to have the little men, a little guard skills, right? Be able to shoot, facilitate. They have to have better court vision nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Is this a guy you draft at 8? No. Is this a guy you draft at 27 if he's there? I'm not sure. James Smith, he's there at 27. I'm taking him, man. Any interest in Poku? No. This dude, your boy Ernesto yesterday talking about Poku's going to the Celtics, and he bet Mark about $5. So go, everybody, mark the words down. Like, let's see if Mark. Let me watch if he can shoot. I don't want to put it down. I just remember he had really good footwork around the rim. I think he's 7. What did they say? I think it said 6'9", 6'10". I think Wiseman's 7'1". I think he said Daniel Turtles. Hold on. They said Daniel Turtles is 6'10", I think. Hold on. Oturo, excuse me. Daniel Oturo. Of course, why would they show me his height? He's 6'10". Not 7 feet. Or 7'3". Somebody say 7'3", 6'10". I don't think he's better than Smith. You bugging, bro. I like Smith's game. I think Smith's gonna be like a Jaren Jackson, man. So he got a little shot to him. Let me see what he shot for the season. Daniel Oturo. Oh, I'm not tired of the stream. I just tired from yesterday, man. Oh, he shot 36.5% from 3. I take that. Oh, but how many attempts? Hold on. Yeah, he only had 1.7 attempts from 3. But I think Jalen Smith had like 2 point something. So he got a little jump shot. We'll see. Maybe I guess I just remember from Daniel Toro. Let me see Jalen Smith stats. So Jalen Smith, well, he only had 2.8 attempts last year. 2.8 attempts. Played 31 minutes. Had 10.5 rebounds. Daniel Toro, 11.3 rebounds. Usage at 28.8. Jalen Smith was at 22.8. I guess that bodes a little bit better for Jalen Smith. He could play a little bit less on the ball, not as big of a user of the ball. So let me look at the stats. 15.5 points. Daniel Toro 20.1. I mean, I guess they're fairly comparable. I don't know. I just like Jalen Smith's games a little bit more. Maybe I might be a bias. Let me watch these guys again. See, do I have a bias? How do you guys feel about it? Daniel Toro or Jalen Smith? And let me turn this off. For anybody that wants to join the chat, let me know, man. You're just chilling right now. I'm gonna be here for a little bit, not too long, but anybody wants to come in the chat and talk ish. Got a Moses Elijah, you're always welcome, bro. We could talk about. I didn't even see what you guys said. Would you guys make that trade for MPJ? My bad about this, guys. Let me see what you guys said. Jets are done. Why are we even talking about the Jets? We're not winning tomorrow. Don't say that. Don't say that crap, bro. Chill with that. We're not winning tomorrow. Watch your mouth. Do you guys make that trade though? I can't see. Do you guys make that trade, man? MPJ, Bobo, first round pick, and a sign and trade for Jeremy Grant for Bradley Beal. Do you guys make that trade to the Nuggets, or do the Nuggets make that trade? Let me know. You biased, bro. There's gonna be close between two. Yeah, I might be biased. I might honestly be biased. It might be recency bias just because I watched Jalen Smith's game. I just remember from Daniel Toro's game, I was like, he wasn't. I just don't remember him shooting that well. Or I just don't remember him shooting. I just remember him playing a lot down low, playing a box, a lot of post up, and that kind of just scares me. As big men in today's NBA, you're just not going to be able to get that opportunity to do that if you can't space the floor. If you're not versatile, right? It could be an issue for big men. I think Jalen Smith just looked a lot more versatile. Was running the floor a little more quicker from what I saw. But again, Daniel Toro, is that a guy? I mean, we do take a guy like that because some mock drafts have us taking Kira Lewis at 27, which I don't think might happen. I think it might be a run on point guards. I can see him going in the teens. But you take Daniel Toro over Kira Lewis at 27? Nah. Center, I'm not saying we don't need centers, but I'd rather I think we need to get shooters and point guards in this draft. And then if a center falls to us somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Or if you get a CP3, right? You get a CP3. Again, we don't have to give any draft picks. If you get a CP3, so you got your point guard for at least the next 2 years, and I think you get a shooter. I mean, maybe a Daniel Toro is there, a Jalen Smith is there, and you take him, right? And I think Jalen Smith is also 6'10", 6'9", is 6'10", is it? So you have a guy who can play the 4, a lot better than Randall. I like any of these guys way better than Randall. There's definitely no doubt about it. Better defenders. Offensively, they know what their role, they know what their strengths are. You know what I'm saying? They're just showing a whole bunch of spasm dunks. Why am I still playing this? You guys don't ever see this. So no one's to come in? All right. Don't kill me. I'll let you guys come in. No one to come in. So Regional Links 5. I would do that. Bradley Beal trade. It makes sense for both teams. So Siobhan Robinson, who does that squad get you to the finals? Because that was a big discussion, right? I'm not making that trade if it doesn't get me to the finals. And people, I know Rick Warren was like, "Oh, nothing's guaranteed." But let's stop trying to be so literal. Does that team get you to the finals? If they don't, I'm not making that trade. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm convinced that MPJ can stay healthy. Now the back issue with MPJ is a big issue because I believe that if MPJ didn't have that back injury or the congenital back issue, you know what I'm saying, he has a really high ceiling as an offensive player. People call him, a bootleg Carmelo Anthony when he got to college, just because offensively he's just that gifted. But the back issue is a big question mark. Bill and Murray are similar. Yep. Why would the Nuggets want to say that's why Malik Beasley got traded because agreed. That's why I say yes. It's like you have Bill, you have Murray, and then you have Gary Harris, who's not he's not a heavy on the ball guy, right? He's more of a defensive guard with some offense to him, right? But you also have Jokic as well too, right? And these are guys who, well, for the most part, Murray needs the ball, right? How does Bradley Beal fit? He's not gonna give you 30 points a night with Murray and Jokic at their level of production, right? It just doesn't make sense. To sit there and expect that Bradley Beal, what he's doing on the bum A Wizards, he's going to be able to replicate that at a high level, and maybe not even say score 30 points a night. Obviously, that's not going to happen with Murray and Jokic, but the impact, right? How does he make those players better when his main bread and butter is scoring? I don't get it. Like, again, go back to that Lakers team of 2004 when they brought on Karl Malone. I know they brought on Gary Payton. Gary Payton was like on his last legs. If I remember Karl Malone, let me look at Karl Malone. Look at the year before he went. Now, obviously, Karl Malone was older, but Karl Malone, I guess it was last year. Karl Malone for the Utah Jazz 2002-2003, he averaged 20.6 points off of 46.4%. No, sorry, off of 46.2% shooting from the field. Averaged 36.2 minutes a night. Still averaging only 6.4 rebounds. Oh, no, sorry, 7.8 rebounds. And 4.7 assists. So, excuse me, somebody looking at those stats, granted, Karl Malone played for a lot of years, and his usage at Utah was, higher. But to my point, you can't just take a player and say, well, he did it here. And his usage at Utah last year was still 27.8%. That's high. That's very high, right? Him and John Stockton was still regarded as the main cogs for that team. So it's just a guy like Bradley Beal. I think they need another. That's not working. What the hell? Oh, what the hell? Give me 2 seconds, guys. Oh, I'm on caps lock. I'm an idiot. My bad, I'm trying to sign in to my Gmail account. Yeah. So it's just you have to think of how players complement each other, right? Who's sacrificing what to make the other players better, right? If it's not naturally a part of his game. And Bradley Beal, like when Chris Paul averages like close to 20 points, whatever, and how many assists, the context of his play or behind his play is to make everyone better, to get everybody easier field goals, right? To make the game of basketball a lot easier for guys who can't create for themselves, right? That's Chris Paul's game. So when you see his stats, you're not, how does he feel? Unless you're going to put him with another guard and they both need the ball in their hands. And for that first year with the Rockets, it worked, right? He made it work, but I believe Harden kind of pushed him out. So that's what I'm looking at. And Bradley Beal's not that type of player. I'm not say Bradley Beal's not a good player, but he needs to go to a place where they need that wing. Oh crap! Sorry. This is my bad. This is that corny Amazon commercial with the ballerina. Yeah, I just can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? My bad, y'all. My bad. You said, bro, put the mask on, you ugly. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna put it on, bro. You're right, son. I'm dumb ugly, bro. MPJ is literally a shot chucker. I'm not sure if that's true. He had some spurts during the playoffs where it's like, and what was that game he had against the Clippers? Was it game 5? Like game 4 to 5 or game 3 to 4? He put on a really good defensive display. So I'm not sure if he's just a shot chucker. I think that's a little oversimplifying it for him. That's not true. Go to game. What was it? Game 4, game 5, or game 3 to game 4? Where I forgot who he shut down. But he was really good defensively. I think we again Khan's everything, and again he's not. I don't think he's going to be a plus defender for most of his career just because the whole back issue, how he's going to be used. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Look, if you think that Bradley Beal can get you to the championship, then you do it. I just don't know how he fits with a team that has all those guards. And also remember, they got Will Barton, and somebody just made a good point. They made a good point about damn, I just lost my train of thought. Malik Beasley, train Malik Beasley, because he didn't fit in that team because they just had so many damn offensive guards, right? Thank you. Siobhan Robinson pointed that out. So the crazy thing about this team is that they don't owe anyone anything. That granted, and we do have a few players. We have Frank from the Phil Jackson regime, all those guys from last year. So there are a bunch of guys from different regimes. That's a bad. When you have bad ownership, who puts these who have these failing front offices, you get this mismatch of players who don't really fit, or players who are part of different regimes that are drafted for way different reasons sometimes. Like Frank Ntilikina's point guard play didn't fit Fizdale's, right? He wasn't aggressive. He didn't penetrate into the paint. He wasn't that type of player. So, you know what I mean? It's just not going to fit. You got to find guys who complement each other. Again, I put the link for anybody who wants to join. I know some of you guys were asking to join from the chat. I think Isaiah was asking me too, man. I don't know where Isaiah is. Y'all know how Isaiah is. He's probably sleeping right now. Bruh. All right, let me look this up. MPJ playoffs. Good defense. Playoffs. Give me playoffs. Yep. What game is this? MPJ taking a step forward. Michael Porter's most impactful sequences as a Nugget might have come in the third quarter of Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers. The highly touted rookie was isolated on defense against Paul George, a six-time All-Star. Porter Jr. stayed on his feet, forced to steal, ignited what happened to be an easy fast break opportunity. However, seconds later, Lou Williams blocked a layup attempt from Denver's Monte Morris. Resourcefully, Porter Jr. scrambled and used his 6'10" frame to shield the ball from the opposition, collected it, and hit a mid-range. There was another game where he played good defense. Either Game 3, the Game 4, Game 4 to Game 5. I can't remember which one it was. Michael Jr. Clippers defense. Michael. I'm just finding which game it was. All right, Game 4, you had a quiet half. Even bigger than – yep. Michael Porter Jr. This was – we all heard Michael Porter Jr. commenting after the Nuggets Game 4 loss on Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, I'm about to show us right now. Let me show us. Because I think that whole idea that he didn't play defense when that literally was one of the reasons why the Nuggets won was because of his defense in certain stretches. And of course, why would Bleacher Report work? Why would it work on him? It just looks like this ugly crap. I'm trying to show you. Okay. Just show me the video, bro. What is wrong with this internet, man? Secure connection failed. What the hell am I doing? Oh, yeah, this is bugging, man. I'm trying to show you this Bleacher Report article and won't let me do it. Let's see. Forget it. It's not. It might load up. Hold up. I'll be able to show you guys. Nah, it's not letting me show it. Exactly, stupid. All right, I can't show it. So I can really. So hold on. Let me try one more time. I just want to show you this quick video.
Approaching in to go.
Finally, it worked. All right, so we're just gonna watch a quick clip by your boy Michael Porter Jr. in his defense. Oh, Try Burrows in. Hold on.
Yo.
So, hold up. Let me just show this clip real quick. Just fair use, and more fair use. I mean, it's a cute little clip. That wasn't that serious, but he definitely had a good game 4 and game 5, or it was like 2 games defensively where he came up. So this is the whole article talking about his defense and his playing of bubble. So it is definitely not the case where he doesn't have the chops to do it. I just sent it. Yo, God knows Elijah, man. Wake up, bro. I know we spent like 8 hours yesterday, man. I just sent the link like 3 times, bro.
Salute.
What's up with this Booker to the Knicks stuff? Booker's not coming to the Knicks, bro. Booker's not leaving the Suns. Like, you'd have to give up your team and your future for Booker. Booker's not going nowhere. Oh, you're browsing to support StreamYard Tech.
No, you got to use Google Chrome.
Yeah, use Google Chrome, bro, if you can. Now you're good. You're good. No need to apologize, man. You're good. Yo, it was good. Oh, crap. It was good. Denman Falcon? It was good.
Yeah, hey, man. What's up, brother?
Falcon.
Hey, big fan of the show. Try, what up?
What up?
Yo, it's me, Adele, bro. So I'm just hopping in and showing some love, and I got no answers, but a lot of questions.
Yeah, man. Go. Talk your ish, man.
All right, man.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Yo, what's up? What's good? What's good, man? We got a goon squad tonight, man. Look at Teddy Flett. Look at Teddy Flett, man.
Oh no.
What's good with you?
Let the dog now.
What's good with your bum ass Bengals, man? What your bum ass Bengals do tonight, bro?
We had a bye week.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know who y'all play. I even pay attention to. I don't even. Football doesn't matter to me no more, man. Until next year, because we ain't doing the Jets. We trash. We trash for real, man. Joe Madden, what up, bro?
Yo, who got that feedback in the background, man? Who's that?
Yo, whoever got the video playing, turn it off so there's no feedback.
Everything's off on my end.
Yo, it was good to everybody here, man. It was good. So how do you guys feel about this draft? Who's everybody taking at 8? Who's everybody taking at 27? I'll start with Try Burrow.
I'm taking Wiseman. I mean, if Wiseman could shoot and he's looks like he's like built for the NBA compared to Mitch, I'm taking him over Mitch.
If Wiseman doesn't drop, because I don't think Wiseman's dropping, who are you taking at 8?
We need a point guard. That's the common thing we need is a point guard that can shoot. I've been saying that. That's what we need. We need a point guard. I mean, Vassell is good, but I mean, how many forwards y'all? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to go after the player that you need. That's what we need. That's the help that we need. We need point guard.
I don't disagree with that.
Or do you want to wait till next year? You know what I'm saying? Like you want to go after Vassell now and then wait till the next year's draft. But I would go after the point guard now.
Yeah, next year never comes. You never know where we are next year.
So right. Who do you have, Joe Madden? Who are you taking at 8 and 27?
At 8, I take Obi if it's available, but if
I
take Vassell.
Joe Madden, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want Julius Randle with a better shot and worse defense?
Well, him and Mitchell work good together. You have Mitch backing him up on the defensive end, and then the guy's unbelievable on the offensive end. So
you need to get you and Ernesto up here, bro.
You gotta go best. Kobe's there.
Yeah, no.
Yo, speak close to the mic, Joe, because you faint away.
Oh, okay. No, I'm saying is you gotta go best available, and if Obi's there, you gotta take him.
Are you taking Obi over Killian Hayes?
No.
Okay.
But I don't think Killian's not going to be there. I think Killian's going to go to Detroit if LaMelo doesn't drop.
Giandrezzi. I'm about to, I wish Giandrezzi would show up here. I'm about to show you guys some Obi Toppin clips. Please, somebody, he just said that Obi Toppin got better on defense than Julius Randle. I don't know what you smoking. This boy, oh crap, this is a Saints game, my bad.
No, but he's a better offensive game.
Oh yeah, he has a I agree 1,000%. But he's also
he can stretch the floor, and he's ready. He's 22, so he's not like a kid you have to bring in. He's ready to start. So it's not like bringing in like an 18-year-old kid and you gotta groom him. You have like Obi's ready, 22 years of age, and he's going to come into the league and put up at least 15, 2, and maybe 6 in his first year, at least, and then he's just going to get better. And
he's a guy who needs the ball out of his hand. If you look at his foul shooting, I believe it's in the low 70s, which is not good, right? I think he's a guy. He's a value. He's going to be a volume guy, a guy that you have to build your offense around him to. Because I don't think he's a guy who's going to come in and play in a complementary role, right? He's not a guy who's going to be playing off ball. He needs the ball in his hands. He wants to make the pass. Like, he's that type of guy, a dude, all big man. And that's hard to project in the NBA. Now, look, he shot from the field. He shot well his 2 years there, right? But again, you have to worry. Okay, this is Dayton. You know what I mean? The competition is not up there. I mean, how does that translate? Now, there's an article in Bleacher Report that was talking about older prospects and how they like do not fare well in the NBA. Like, guys who already they've kind of seen this ceiling. So I'm just going to show the negatives about him. Why you guys?
Look at Brandon Clark last year. Everyone slept on Brandon Clark, and he was in the first rookie of the team, I think.
Oh wait, hold on. Fair use, and more fair use. So wait, hold up. You said Brogdon?
No, Brandon Clark.
Who are you saying?
Brandon Clark from Memphis.
Oh, Brandon Clark. I'm sorry, my bad, bro. I'm sorry.
Everyone slept on him because he was I think he was 21 or 22.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone slept on him, and look at him. He's had a great year, so a great start of his career. So,
but do you think that Obi Toppin, you take Obi Toppin at 8, right?
If you take Obi Toppin at 8, you got to move up.
Say it again.
I said if you take Obi at 8, then you have to move 27, 38, maybe Randall or someone to move up back into the lottery to take a point guard. If you get Obi.
Yeah, I saw it. There was a mockdraft.net had Kara Lewis at 27. I doubt Kara Lewis last.
No.
There's going to be a run on him, Cole Anthony.
He's not getting past Phoenix.
Ooh. Phoenix with Kara Lewis.
So Tyrell Terry would be my next option. My board, I go LaMelo, Killian, and Tyrell.
Tyrell Terry scares me. We were looking at the video yesterday, and they broke down how no player under 170 pounds got significant minutes in 2020, right? So Tyrell Terry is a heady point guard. He's smart. But how did that fare in the NBA with that size? And he's not an explosive athlete, right? And he's not twitchy like Trae Young. He's smart, yeah. He plays up players, missteps. He's one of those type of players. But again, Pac-12, was it Pac-12 or whatever?
Yeah.
How does that translate to the NBA? If you don't run a lot of pick and roll, use him off ball as like an extra guard, it's just, I don't know, a smaller guard like that kind of scares me, man.
See, that's why I think if we get Obi, he'd be good for Tyrell Terry setting a lot of screens because Obi's good for setting screens. That'll help Tyrell.
Yeah, and just to look at these defensive plays by Obi. Obi is Garbaggio to the fullest on deep. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know who just said that he's better than Randall. I don't know what you guys are smoking. And it might Amari Stoudemire is actually not a bad comp. Even though Amari was a little bit more explosive. Then isn't Hoop Intellect? Hoop Intellect showed a little more in his defense, man. Yeah.
I think he'd be fine under Tibbs' system. Tibbs again.
Yeah, Tibbs. I think. Look, I underrated Tibbs. Salute to Nick G. He pointed this out to me. The fact that Thibodeau does run a lot in terms of being a tactician. He's gonna run different sets, right? He's gonna run different sets to get the best out of his players, right? Even with the Wolves, that 1 year I believe it was the players, they were ranked number 9 or number 10 in total offense. Even with the Bulls, when Derrick Rose went down, salute to Nick G for pointing this out, they played more triangle. So he's gonna find what's the most productive, or try to find the most productive plays in the system and build around them. The thing with Obi just scares me because a high usage big man like him, are we I know people don't like Randall, right? Does he feel a need? Because this draft to me feels like a need draft. It doesn't feel like a best player draft, right? Where you have superlative talent, where you're picking a guy saying, "Yo, he's going to take us over the top," right? Obi Toppin, if you take his production and switch it with Randall's, do you have that much of a difference?
Yeah, he can space the floor.
Fair enough. He can't space the floor.
So you're opening up lanes for RJ. And then
Very true, but you're also taking even more of the little that Randall has on defense.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have
he works off the ball. Randall don't set screens. You have Obi set
Randall
screens.
doesn't. No one sets screens on Mitch. Absolutely, no one sets screens on Mitch. Can't set screens. But yeah, but let me go to somebody else. So Denman. Sorry about
Yeah,
Denman
man.
Falcon.
Hey, what's up, brother?
27.
All right, 8. If Killian's there, I'm taking Killian. If not, give me somebody that Tibbs would pick. Where's the Coral going? Somebody already said that they'll snatch
They
him.
talk about Carl going to Cleveland. Like, he stopped taking Zoom calls and everything. They suspect that he's going to be a Cleveland pick. And I guess because who would take a Carl before 5, right? So you got Anthony Edwards, I think, is going 1. You got LaMelo or Wiseman going 2, 3. I think Danny Avdija goes somewhere.
He's going to the Bulls, I think. Bulls or Golden State straight back.
And especially if LaMelo falls from that top 2, there's no way. Yeah, I definitely see a Carl going to Cleveland at 5.
All right, so I would say, since we got Tibbs, we got to give him the best ingredients that he wants or that he's used to. I don't know, two-way players, defensive players. I guess I would love Hayes. I would love Okoro. If not that, I'll go Vassell.
With Okoro, aren't people scared that he's basically, in terms of development, he mirrors RJ? A guy who
I know he can't shoot.
Can't shoot. So you have two guys who they don't complement each other at all. How do you develop those two? And then basically, I mean, one is 6'6", 1 is 6'7". RJ probably has a little more.
I would say I would address it in the draft, in the free agency. Get a Bertans, get a couple shooters that way.
For Okoro. So who you got at 27?
Oh, 27?
So you got guys like Jaden, I think, will be there.
Yeah, Jaden. You got Tyler Bay. You got
Woodard. You got you might have Tyrese Maxey. He might drop to 27. Let me go to mydraft.net is not the best. Hold up. It's not the best, but let me just so I can see what players are going to be taken. And if you're taking Tyrese Maxey, he's more of a scoring guard than a kind of like a facilitator hybrid. I think even Kara Lewis, as much as he's kind of like a speed demon kind of scoring guard.
I do like that element. I like. Well,
he has facilitation shops and more than Maxey. I think. Sorry, I'm just waiting for this thing to load up. Computer's trash.
Now, is Tyler Bay more like a Wooten type?
From Colorado? Like a Kenny Wooten?
Yeah. He can shoot.
He's more. He's more like a. He shot 38.
Whoa. Okay.
I might be wrong. Hold on. Let me just check.
I know he's long and lanky.
He's like a defensive. What the?
Yeah, there's so many draft picks. My mind is going crazy.
Bro, my mind is mush right now. Absolute garbage, man.
They say this is a weak draft. It's weak at the top, but there's so much talent going from.
I think it's stronger at the top versus the bottom. Once you get out the 20s, bro. Once you get into the 20s, the talent. I mean, even after the top 3, 4, there's a big drop, and then from maybe the late teens, then there's another drop. Like you're talking about. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, Coach. So Tyler Bay, Yeah, he shot. Well, it was only one attempt per game. He shot 41.9%, but only 1 attempt per game. So he might have some chops. He shot 74.3% from the free throw line. I wish I could see his defensive chops. Defensive plus minus, ranked number 1 in the Pac-12. Defensive win shares, I mean, take it for what it is, he ranked number 1 in the Pac-12. Total rebound percentage for his first 2 years there, he ranked number 1, which is incredible. And what is he, 6'7", I believe?
Yeah.
So, but again, his development, and he had a usage of 24.4%. See, the thing about it, Colorado, I mean, obviously Colorado, they're not this uber talented team. So how does that translate with him come to the Knicks? You know what I mean? Because I think with everything we think about, one of our biggest weaknesses is that we don't have shooting. Yes, we don't have a point guard, but shooting is a major issue, right? And that's why I'm thinking of Vassell, because you got a guy who's a two-way player, and that shooting opens up so much more for everybody else on that team, man. If you have a point guard, even if you get, say, this won't happen, but say you had a Vassell and say even a talented player like Killian Hayes, right? Killian Hayes has flaws to his game. He's not the most athletic, needs a lot of pick and roll. But it's going to be a lot easier on a young point guard if he has somebody he could dump it off to shoot the shot. If he has somebody, if he's driving into the heart of the defense and they collapse him, he pass out to perimeter. He has a guy who can make that corner three at a high clip. That would trade for anybody. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Would you trade the 27th and the 38th to move up? Let's say to get a Saddiq Bey.
Yeah, I like.
I'm not getting Saddiq Bey. I'd rather take a. I like Desmond.
Okay.
Desmond, Saddiq Bey is weird, man. He reminds me of Marshawn Brooks who posts up a lot more, right?
Yeah.
You have to, like a slower Marshawn Brooks who posts up a lot more than I think Marshawn Brooks did. A guy who can light up the scoreboard, but he's slower, and he's not going to have that same type of usage, right? For whatever NBA team, they're not going to build around him like that, right?
He'd be a nice fit at the stretch four. I think he's a little bit too slow for the three.
Yeah, he's definitely slow for the three, man.
Four.
Would you take Bane over him though? Like, would you rather not trade up for Saddiq Bey and take a Bane?
I'll take Bane, but I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah, Bane might not be. Hold on. Yo, because these mock drafts got me all over. So hold on, let me see.
Yeah, you have guys going at like 10, and then another mock draft they're in the 20s. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I've seen mock drafts where early on, Jaden McDaniels, I saw him drop into like the second round, and I've seen drafts where he was taking the top 15. I've seen ones, obviously, Kara Lewis. This one's got updated, mockdraft.net got updated on the 3rd of November, and Kara Lewis is available at 27. The other drafts, he was like taking mid-teens. So,
yeah.
I mean, how does RJ Hampton go before Kara Lewis?
Because I think just the upside. I see a lot of Russell Westbrook when he was in college. And the kid, the thing is, his numbers aren't good because he didn't start. He wasn't playing a lot of minutes, and he was playing for a championship team in New Zealand. He also like hurt too. Yeah, the hip injury. Melo was playing with a crappy team.
Right. He also had the hip injury as well too. But the thing that scares me about him, the shooting chops, right? Because Westbrook, look what you had to do with Westbrook. You had to build around him. Obviously, Westbrook was a decent. He could play. He can be the explosiveness, I think, right, and the potential, right. But then you saw he wasn't that efficient, and you had to basically, I don't care what no one says, you had to manufacture fake ass triple doubles for him, right? And it just got you're losing the first round of playoffs every year, right? A guy, I mean, from mid-range, I actually think he's actually good. I forgot what shot chart I was looking at. Mid-range, he's good, but again, he's a guy who's not, as much as I used to love Westbrook, he's not a smart player. I'm sorry to say.
No.
RJ Hampton scares me in a sense that he reminds me of, and not because he kind of looks like him, Dante Exum. Right?
Yeah.
A guy who's a slasher, wasn't a good shooter. Now, obviously, Dante Exum also had injury issues too. RJ Hampton's probably a little bit more confident because Dante Exum, there were issues about his confidence, that he was kind of like shy and timid in terms of being on the court. I don't think RJ Hampton's going to have that issue. If you have RJ Hampton, I'm not sure you make him your prototypical lead guard, right? He seems like I don't want to say combo, but more of like an attacking guard, right? In terms of facilitation, If you let me know if you guys saw it in the NBL. Am I underrating his or underscoring his not underscoring, excuse me, underrating his facilitation in the clips in the highlights I've seen because I didn't watch NBL games like that. I didn't come away thinking this guy was a high level facilitator. But again, upside rules is draft. So if you have a team that takes him on upside, man, that means somebody else is dropping. At this point, I would probably take Kara Lewis over RJ Hampton. But yo, Teddy, did I get to you? Actually, at 8 year 27?
Nah, at 27, or are we talking about the 8th pick?
We'll start at 8. Start at 8 first.
The 8th pick, I'm going with Vassell to start off with. I think his defensive upside in 23, like we said, is you just can't ignore that. And I just think he's a Tibbs guy. For 27, that's tough because I would take a point guard. I would take Malachi Flynn.
Nice. I like that one.
Malachi Flynn?
Yeah.
I would. I'll take a gamble on him.
Realistically, he might be the best player available there. So Malachi Flynn, bro. Now,
he needs a lot of work. He can't really do too much without a pick.
I think he just might be an okay guard in the NBA. We were watching the film the other day, and I just don't see it. Like, look, not to take away from his stats, according to Stepping, he's like the best. He ranked in like the 99th percentile, something like that, as the best guard off the pick and roll. But everything I saw, and it counted both. I believe it counted both scoring and assists. But what I saw from when we were watching the videos or the video, like an hour-long scouting video, a lot of what he does from pick and roll is attack, right? He's not saying he can't make the pass, but he's not looking for that, right? Like,
you don't think he was a good 6-man?
He has a nice form to his shot. I think he might be a decent shooter in NBA. It's just you look at him, right? And people kill me. Someone killed me. He's like, oh, you underestimate Dame and McCollum. I'm like, and John Morant, bro. I said, first of all, John Morant was, if anyone knows me from NBK, John Morant, I said I'll take John Morant #1 over Zion. So,
oh yeah, that was no question.
I'm a John Morant fan through and through. I've been saying that. People kill me. Oh, you crazy for Zion. And you take out even the injuries aside, I put money in it. If you ask people, would you take John Morant or Zion right now? People will be like, I don't know. Because John Morant is that dude. I don't give a F what no one says. Y'all can see him talk about Zion or his dunks. I showed to somebody in my chat or in the comments. Zion took basically like 99% of his shots right at the rim. Like people talk about, he shot 47%. He attempted 0.6 attempts a game from three. Like, don't let that 41.6 or whatever percent fool you. Like, hopefully he can grow into it, but you're talking about a 296 player, bro. This dude,
and you want to know who else?
He came into the league 270. Yeah. Then came to the league 270. No, he got drafted around 270, got hurt with the meniscus, right? Came in looking like 280 because people were like, oh, he looks about like 10 pounds heavier. Then in the bubble, he looked even heavier than that. So it might have been 285, 290 at 6'6", bow-legged, which is not good for your body with the weight. So y'all can kill me for that. John Morant all the way. But back to Malachi Flynn, it's tough because when you watch Dame Lillard at Weber say, you said this dude could ball, right? He is a scorer. Obviously, some teams is like, all right, he's going to facilitate, blah, blah. But obviously, the Blazers found a way to make him effective. And you saw the potential of Dame Lillard. McCollum, I didn't watch as much, so anyone's an expert on McCollum. I don't see that in Malachi Flynn. I don't see McCollum in Malachi Flynn. I don't see Dame Lillard in Malachi Flynn. I see him as like a solid guard who will come in, make a few shots, but
I see him making an open three.
Say it again.
I see him making an open three.
Yeah, he has nice form, bro. Like he has nice form, very nice form. But to me, Malachi Flynn, I just don't see it. But if that's who you got at 27, I ain't hating.
You know what? It's another one. This is just just to throw it out there. What about Cassius Stanley?
The one from Michigan State.
I think we can get him a little later on, maybe at 38.
I'm thinking Cassius Winston. Cassius Stanley.
Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. That's from.
No, I might get it wrong. Which one? Michigan State is Cassius.
Yeah,
Cassius Winston is Duke, and then Cassius Stanley is Duke, and Cassius.
Yeah. Cassius Stanley from Duke.
All right, got you.
He could be there at 38.
It could be.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm telling you, this draft drops off. All right, let me see. Let me look back at mockdraft.net. right? They're
not gonna have them. They're not gonna. I already know they're not.
Bro, they got some bum. Not I don't say bum. Let me not say that. But you got guys like Emmanuel Quickly who will be available. Isaiah Stewart. You got Conrad was going through. They said 76ers. You got Aletsky Pukaveski. Yo, this dude, what's the name? Ernesto. Salute to Ernesto, man. He said that crap, bro. I wanted to strangle him, man. Like, yo, bro.
Who did he
had him go to the
Patrick
Celtics
Ewing?
at 14, man.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me because they have picks that they need to stash. So, and they're not in a hurry. They can just develop slowly.
Well, I think that the Celtics. Well, first of all, they can't keep all 3 picks, right? But
no,
if they get a pick in the mid, or if they move up, if someone gives them, they have to move up. They're picking a big man who can score. They're gonna take and who can run the floor, right? And it's not necessarily. I'm talking about like a 4-ish guy who could play kind of like the 5, the Bam Adebayo type. And I think that they're having other mock drafts. I see them taking a guy like Jalen Smith. A guy can shoot, space the floor, could run. Because the Celtics struggle with that, man. Like their offense, basically, they had no front court offense on that team, really. Right? They had to depend on your boy Jason Tatum trying to do his best Kobe Bryant impression with a bunch of fadeaway threes in the playoffs or in the finals, or in the playoffs against the Heat. And your boy, as much as I like him, Jaylen Brown is like you had to hit him with the cattle prod to get him to like be aggressive. Like this dude is shooting 38% from 3, 46% from the field, 20 points. Like, bro, you are efficient. Fucking play, bro. Like what's wrong with this dude, man? But they have no outside of Horford. When Horford left, they really have no looks from any of the big men, and I think that hurt them. So I definitely see them if they move up. I don't know how far they're going to move up, but they got to get rid of those picks somehow.
I think a nice fit for Boston will be Obi at the 5.
You said Obi?
Obi at the 5. Yeah. Boston going up and getting Obi Toppin and putting him at the 5.
I do agree with him. I do think Boston's going to package those picks to get something.
Obi at the 5.
For Boston, I think that would be nice.
Hold on.
I'll say that.
I think they might package the picks to get a Kongwu.
That's what I'm thinking.
A Kongwu defensively, right? And if he develops his shot, his mid range, but damn, wait, hold on, because I'm just trying to think. With Obi. The thing about Obi is weird because he plays so much like a freaking guard, right? But in terms of size, right, when you're talking about their front court defending, the Bams, they even the Bucks who have size on them, right? Obi gets abused versus Okongwu's not as good offensively, but he can be a Bam Adebayo type, which I think the Celtics need more so than Obi. Now, Obi is definitely interesting because you're going to have shooters out the wazoo. You're going to have scoring out the wazoo. Him, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. I mean, how do you – and then you have Kemba too. And then you have Smart defending in your backcourt. Damn. That's it. Who made that suggestion? Was that Teddy? Who was that?
Nah, me.
That was you? All right, I'm gonna give you that because I'm gonna look out for that for the draft because we really don't know what the hell's gonna happen in the draft.
You don't know what
to the Celtics.
That would be kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
You guys think
that's because they got
guys think
not Baines. They got the
Tice.
Wait, which one's the Irish looking? What's his name?
Daniel Tice.
Yeah, Tice. You got Tice.
Yeah, the German guy.
On his face. Or his neck, whatever the hell it is, or his arm, whatever. Oh no, Theus. Oh, I'm
Tice.
Tice. My bad. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Yeah.
Here, I have one for you guys. Would you guys consider trading Mitch to go up and get LaMelo without giving up the 8th pick?
No.
Being
What up, guys?
Yeah.
Theo was
what up? God bless. Wow. Look what a good night's sleep does for God Moses' life. This dude came in at 2 a.m. yesterday, looking like he wanted to kill me. Now he's smiling. He's happy now, bro. He's all.
Tight. My bad.
Truth to God, Moses Elijah, man.
Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah.
Y'all killed me yesterday up till 3:30, whatever it was.
Oh, we had a good time last night, though.
My whole
Like,
thing,
what the hell we talking? I'm like, I was looking up and I'm like, yo, what the hell are we talking about?
but Guillermo, I want to make a point with you, Guillermo.
Yo, somebody's playing it. If you could mute it in the background, the video, because it's playing.
This boy came in at 2 a.m. yesterday, looking like he wanted to kill me. He's happy now, bro.
Who's playing? Is that you? Is that you, God Moses Elijah?
Truth to God, Moses Elijah, man.
Yeah, what up, guys?
Hey, Moses, you gotta-
Killed me yesterday up till 3:30, whatever it was.
We had a good time.
If you have the YouTube video thing, you gotta turn it off.
I was looking up and I'm like, yo.
Is that you, Teddy Flat?
Nah, that's Moses.
That's Moses. You turn it off, Moses?
Is this me? Everything now? Yeah, I have to turn
Everything's
it
good
off. I'm
now.
learning this. I'm sorry, man.
You
Nah,
I
got
had
it.
to go, but I'm like,
Hey man, I just popped my cherry today, bro.
look, man.
Yo, this guy.
Look, I want to talk to Guillermo because I was gonna say just because Bradley Beal may not be a good fit with the Nuggets because he's our number 1 or number 2 scoring option, right? Doesn't mean that Michael Porter Jr.'s value as a player is you can't say I'll turn down Bradley Beal for Michael Porter because Michael Porter is as if he's a better player. You know,
No. So when I think Bradley Beal is a dynamic player, right? Forgive him the 30.3 whatever points he averaged. I think he's a dynamic guard. I've always liked in isolation. I've always liked this game, right? And I think that now, yes, he is definitely a better player than MPJ. But again, what I'm trying to envision is how those guys fit together, right? So MPJ does fill a need as he plays like the 4,
and he's a number 3 scoring option, right? Michael
right.
Porter Jr.
So you have scoring from your front court.
But my whole thing
he doesn't impede anybody else's play. You have Murray. How do you play Murray?
I agree with your point. I agree. All I'm trying to say is just because you have a point.
Hold up. Someone said mega. I'm sorry. Someone said mega pause. What, did I say something crazy?
No. I want to go. I want to just because you have a good point. Michael Porter Jr. is a good number 3 scoring option. Bradley Beal is a number 1 or number 2 scoring option, especially with his contract. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's
Are you
Bradley
following
Beal
me?
making?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
So just because, okay, you can't try to turn Bradley Beal to a number 3 scoring option, and then in an argument, and then say, "Hey, I won't even trade Bradley Beal for Bradley Beal because Michael Porter Jr. As if Michael Porter Jr. is better." That's what throws the argument off.
Oh no, I'm not. See, but here's the thing, bro. I'm looking at Murray and Bradley Beal, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying who Bradley Beal comes. He's a number 2, 1, 3. I'm just trying to put in my head, how do you make those guys fit? Now, Gary Harris and Murray, especially when Gary Harris came back from the hip injury, he filled the need as defensive guard, right? People think it's like, hey, a bunch of scorers get together and it works, and many times it does not work.
Here's the thing.
Literally, last time it worked, and that's only because you had unselfish players. Literally, was the Warriors, where you had Curry, Klay Thompson, and KD. Right? KD had to basically so-called get into the system, but even then, he became, especially in the finals, became an ISO assassin. Curry had to kind of dip his game, even though his performance, I think, just kind of went down because I don't know. He's probably thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna get the MVP, Finals MVP, kind of whatever." And Klay Thompson, like they had to find a way to get the ball. Like it's very hard to get, especially if you have a bunch of guys who aren't drafted with each other, right? So Bill obviously not drafted Murray, right? Murray and those guys have a system that works. Me personally, I just think they need more scoring wings, but it's hard to like a guy like Bradley Beal's only 6'3", so he's gonna be playing exactly what Murray does.
Too.
Hey, but the thing that we're not talking about is Mike Malone is a good coach.
Mike Malone's a damn good coach.
You know, Bradley Beal's value. He's a $30 million player, averaging 35 points. You put him on any team, and in every team, the defense is going to focus on him.
Yeah.
You have to focus on him because he can distribute. He averaged 6 assists per game for the season last season. On top of that, he can give you 30 points. Every team has to focus on the first guy. You got to zone in. You got to watch out for Beal. Now, my whole thing, and I get the point about Michael Porter Jr. He's a good third scoring option with the Nuggets. My whole thing is what throws it off is, hey, when you say stuff like, hey, I'm giving up too much in Michael Porter Jr. and Bobo and Jeremy Grant for Bradley Beal, that's what makes everything you're saying insane. That's insane.
I'm gonna make it insane if I'm saying so. No, yesterday when we were talking about it, right?
Bradley Beal is on Jamal Murray, if not in a higher tier than Jamal Murray. So you're trying to say, hey, listen, he's on Jamal Murray's level, but I wouldn't give up Michael Porter Jr. for somebody who's on Jamal Murray.
No. So it was my thing wasn't just on Michael Porter Jr. I think Michael Porter Jr. was one of the like the inflection. I don't know how would you put it. It was like where it all came down. Because look, I'm not convinced by Bobo. Right, the first round pick, I think you guys made a good point. It's not going to be worth much, right? But again, you're talking about all that, and then even Jeremy Grant, a sign and trade, and then you bring in a guy like Michael Porter Jr., who out of all those players, I think he's a guy that you scratch your head to it, right? So I'm not looking. Look, again, I'm not saying. I think one thing that a lot of people do, right? We play a lot of video games, whatever, right? We like to say, take this guy and put him here, right? And the production and how the style of play, that stuff is going to be perfect, right? It doesn't work that way. For instance, right? Do you think if you look at it right now, you would say a guy like Oladipo when he's healthy, Sabonis and Westbrook should work, right? Sabonis and Westbrook did not work. Sabonis and Oladipo did not work with Westbrook, right? So you can't. But when they
he was drafted in OKC. Sabonis was drafted in OKC.
No. I understand. But I'm saying that sometimes a player's style of play, right, may not fit other similar players, right? Oladipo and Westbrook, not to say they play the same, but they're both guys who they're both attacking.
Was drafted 2016. He was a rookie. He was on year 2 or year 3.
Bill and Jamal Murray are both attacking guards who need the ball in their hand, right? Does Bradley Beal complement that team enough that they get to the championship? Because I agree with you. I said if he gets me to the championship, I feel confident he gets me the championship, I'm making that trade.
I think so.
I think you can.
Again, first of all, you can't even do that trade, even if you wanted to, without giving up Jamal Murray or Jokic. You're gonna have the contracts. It doesn't fit. But
right. You probably have to give. Gary Harris got paid, right? So you probably have to give up.
Yeah, Gary Harris is making.
No. But when you want to say somebody who's on Jamal Murray's level, if not higher, and significantly higher level than Jamal Murray, you can't say, "Hey, I'm giving up too much in Michael Porter Jr. and Bobo in trying to trade for Bradley Beal. I'm not giving up all that."
But you know, I changed the answer, right?
That context is what throws everything off. Like,
hold on. I got bro. I agree with you guys yesterday. Okay. I said if you make the trade, I'm sorry, if you feel confident you get to the championship, guys, I make the Mark. Get your ass up in here. It's all right about Mark, get in this chat right now. But I actually agree with you guys. Look, or with you and Rick, if you feel he's getting to the championship, you make that trade because the Nuggets are a win now team, right? I don't disagree with that. I was just looking back at it like, damn, that is a lot of value, and I like what seems. And I also was trying to look at it.
Now, when you say something like, "Yo, I'm giving
Bill's impact," Bill's a good player, but again, we've seen it many times where a player goes from one team to another, and that production and that proficiency just doesn't trail because that team plays a lot differently, right? Bradley Beal does not have a player like Jokic on the Wizards. He doesn't have a player. He doesn't have even role players like Barton. He doesn't have freaking Jeremy Grant. Millsap, those two are going to be free agents. He doesn't have that support system around him, so he's put up 30 points a game because he's the most dynamic player.
You're forgetting that the defense is coming after him. All the defense, every defense in the NBA is zoning in on him, and he still can get his efficiently while distributing the ball and making sure that Davis Bertans can excel, Thomas Bryant can excel, Moritz Wagner can excel, Otto Porter Jr. can excel when he was with the Wizards before he got traded, and John Wall. John Wall got hurt his ankle not last season, but the season before. So my whole thing is,
why were there issues with Bradley Beal and John Wall as to both guys were basically fighting for control of the ball? Why were there issues?
I've seen that.
There were issues between those two, between Bradley Beal and John Wall.
John Wall. About the ball hugging with John Wall, and look, I'm not gonna get. I know a lot about Washington. I don't know the whole beef between Washington, John Wall, but again, Michael Porter Jr. last season in the playoffs proved to be a decent third scoring option. You're comparing. You're saying when you say stuff like, "Hey, I'm giving up too much in Michael Porter Jr. for somebody who's constantly proving himself in the league, and the defense is zoning him on a number one scoring option, or if not, a complimentary number two scoring option, or a good 1B. Let's just say he's a good 1B.
Okay, put like this. If Bradley Beal, because again, I said I agree with you guys. If he gets you to the championship, right? So it's not even a discussion about that. I actually agree with you guys. But if Bradley Beal, right? Let's just try to project. I know it's impossible to do it. Does Bradley Beal, is he that same dynamic player, right? With less usage and a slightly different role in the Nuggets? And I'm not saying he's a number 2 or number 3, but he's going to share the ball.
I want to answer that. And I actually want to answer that. I want to answer that.
And all you guys can answer. You guys understand.
Here's my thing. Steve, and I don't try to make people's prediction better than it is, but I just try to do the best I can. Stephen A. spoke about Golden State and how they're gonna come. All the injuries is gonna defeat Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. I feel if you have a Bradley Beal and a Jamal Murray, it's probably going to be top 3, top 5 backcourt in the league that where each player can give you possibly 50 between. I don't know if Jokic could be in those two, because those two, Jamal Murray, the way he's ascending and the way Bradley Beal is ascending, they could give the Lakers a headache. That's a big problem, because now you have to focus on the outside shooting, and you have to watch out for Beal, and you have to watch out for Jamal Murray, and the NBA is going to have to try to force the Nuggets to give up Jokic, because that's just going to be too much. Jokic is going to average almost 10, 15 assists per game, and he probably doesn't even have to work that hard. So all he has to do is to keep passing the ball like the way he does. And if you have a Bradley Beal and you have a Jamal Murray, who any other day, one of them is going to explode for 30, or the other one might explode for 25. The other one might explode for 50. You have to be careful with that. That's something that the NBA will probably get in the way of it, because the dynamic it can explode. It can wreck. They can beat Golden State with that kind of backcourt. They can beat the Lakers with that kind of backcourt. And that's what I'm trying to put in context, is that he's not just like a Michael Porter Jr., who's a great third scorer. Bradley Beal, you're going to have to zone in on him, and you're going to have to say, how are we going to stop this guy? Because he's not a CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard. He's not one of those. He's going to give you 30. He's averaged 20, 25, 30, and he's on his way to 32 to 35. And nothing is slowing him down. No defense is slowing him down. He's only getting better.
Well, it's not about, but again, we look at it in isolation, right? So, yeah, he's averaging 30, 32, but it's on a trash team, right? There are things like empty stats, right? You can put up good stats and your team ain't winning.
He's an empty stat player? You saying that's what you
imply? No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's an empty stat player. I like Bradley Beal, but what I'm saying is that we can sit here and say he's scoring 30-something, 32 points, and his team ain't winning.
Not empty stats. It's not empty stats.
Yes, it's a team game. I understand, right? But when you're talking about, because you're putting him on this level that you didn't say he's a superstar, but you're putting him on this level where his production is it's only getting blah blah blah. If your production is that high, your team should be in the effing playoffs, right? If you're talking about a James Harden, as much as I do not like James Harden, guys, I don't like James Harden. But I cannot deny that James Harden's production and the way in which he does it, right? But it gets your team to the playoffs, whether you like him or not. James Harden is going to get you to the playoffs. Bradley Beal's not getting to the playoffs off of his production.
Again, but if the team wants to draft a Rui Hachimura, then that's the team's goal. You can't.
Okay. And Rui Hachimura is a talented player. Okay.
He's a talented player. So listen, at the end of the day, they both end up winning. Bradley Beal is the player he is today, and they are also getting players like Rui Hachimura. They're also possibly getting I don't know where they're drafting this year, Washington. But
they do 9. They're
draft 9. They got him taking Devin Vassell, which
okay. But again, they do have talent, especially the center. They have great talent. They have Thomas Bryant. They have Davis Bertans. And they also they have Thomas Bryant, Davis Bertans, Moritz Wagner, Rui Hachimura. So it's important to be smart at all levels. It's not good enough to make it to the playoffs and be drafting in the 25s. With that kind of, you need more talent, and unfortunately, John Wall and Bradley Beal need more talent. That's how it goes.
But see, okay, you can't do that. You can't say they need more talent, right? But then say and extol how great Bradley Beal's production is, right? To me, if you're such a great producer, even just on offense, and you're a good defender, and you have some type, it may not be great talent yet, but you have some type of talent. Why is your team not getting to the playoffs?
One man can't carry them.
No, I agree 1,000%. That's why I said you do have some talent. But if you put like this, can Chris Paul get the Wizards to the playoffs in the East?
Yes.
They were close to the playoffs. I think they were 10th. So they
were 10th. They had 25 wins, I believe, right? They were 10th.
I think they finished 10th, yeah.
Yo, Mark, who's Mark is here to who's Mark versus God of Moses Elijah? So I'm gonna just sit back and allow the sparks to fly. I'm only joking, God.
Hey man.
But please, Mark, can you please come to my defense that that production in isolation does not necessarily translate easily to just any team, right? Especially when you already have guards.
Can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
I can understand dudes having a career year scoring 30 points, right?
And six assists.
That's cool. That's cool and all, right? But he's a heavy isolation player when he scored 30. He's not a very efficient shooter or efficient scorer. He's not someone.
He average. Oh, that's not true. So last year, I was looking at Bradley Beal's numbers. So mid-season, either this year or last year, it wasn't official. I looked like, man, he ain't shooting that well, but he actually did shoot 45% from the field, 35.3% from the three this past season. But for the past, so last year's 35.1% from three, 37.5% from three, which is great or good, 40.4% from three, 2016-17. And he's never averaged anything below 30. Well, last year, these past 2 years have been his lowest at 35.3. So he's a volume shooter. So it makes it seem like he's not efficient. But
let me say, his production will not be the same with John Wall on the floor. Right? If he went to the Nuggets, that backcourt will get destroyed defensively.
Thank you.
Defensively. I'm not putting 2 6'3" guards
against the Lakers. Wait, against the Lakers?
Yes. Yeah. Hold up. Hold up. God of Moses Elijah. I was here with every game for the Blazers in the playoffs. That backcourt got mollywopped by the Lakers. Did you see the Lakers zone defense up top, bro?
Gammo, you know what Denver will be again? Just like Portland. 2 small guards.
So you telling me they're gonna stop?
Yes.
Hold up.
Yes.
They're gonna stop Jokic, Beal, and Jamal Murray.
Yes. No, sorry. Let me not say they're gonna stop. Oh,
yeah.
Let me not say they're gonna stop. But that the way the Lakers play, right? The way they play with size in their front court, right? And they have guards who will hound you at the top in their zone. That's not an easy. Let's not sit here and say that Bradley Beal and all these guys can sit there and break it.
Wait, I want to listen to Mark right now. I want to answer Jokic, Beal, and Murray. Who wins the 7 against the Lakers?
What?
If the Denver Nuggets have Nikola Jokic, Bradley Beal, and Jamal Murray in a 7-game series, who wins between the Nuggets and the Lakers?
I guess that's how you feel about your question.
No, he's coming back. His internet goes in now, but he's coming back. So
to answer your question,
is that a good question?
That's a good question. Because
hold on.
I think the Nuggets.
Who's the Lakers' third? Leading scorer for
He can't stop Brad. You're not gonna stop those 3.
You're not going to stop those three at all. And you know what's so crazy is we.
Well, I want to hear from Mark. Let's hear from Mark. Let's be fair. We're not gonna.
God, Moses Elijah likes war, son. Yeah, this dude is warlike, bro.
No. We're not gonna ignore him.
So, Mark, do you get his question?
Yeah, it's not even a competition, man. Lakers are going to destroy Denver. Like, what are we talking here? Y'all talking about Bradley Beal like he's some transcendent player.
He's on his way. He's on his way.
But if he goes to a championship team, I don't think being a third option, I don't think he's not elevating. If he was that big of a talent, he would have put the Wizards over the top into the playoffs already.
Into the playoffs, as simply as that. A guy who's averaging 30 points a game. A guy's having 30 points a game, and you sit here and say he's making players better around him. Now, what is it? Is he making players better around him, or he doesn't have the talent? Because at 30 points a game and that efficiency in the East, which I mean has gotten stronger, you should be getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, I want to answer that. I want to answer that.
30 and didn't bring us anywhere.
Here's what happened. Let's keep in context. They had Otto Porter and they had Kelly Oubre. They traded Kelly Oubre away. They also traded Otto Porter away. Am I correct?
Right. Yes.
And they also went for the young pieces in Thomas Bryant, and they also went for the young pieces in Moritz Wagner. So and then John Wall's Achilles, a torn Achilles. So I guess naturally, Bradley Beal had to start doing what he's doing, and then they started going for draft picks. So that's what I think. That's the answer to your question of what happened if he was that good. What happened in the last 3 years? And how come they haven't made it to the playoffs? Because I think Washington was a playoff team. I don't know definitely not last year or the year before, but I think when Otto Porter was there, Washington was a playoff team. And it just so happened that they traded Otto Porter in the trade deadline, and they traded Oubre in the trade deadline. Last year's 2019, it could have been maybe 2017 they traded him, or 2018 they traded him. So that's the question that I haven't answered and you've been looking for. And I remember that the situation is Otto Porter got traded, Kelly Oubre got traded, and then John Wall tore his Achilles, and Bradley Beal's by himself. And he actually, instead of playing worse, he actually started playing better and better and better.
So if that's the case, okay, so you got to pick one. You discount that production if he goes to a team like the Nuggets, where he's going to have a lot more talent, and he's not going to have that usage like he did with the Wizards. Or you say, hey, he produced like that, but then he ultimately did not get him into the playoffs. Now, I agree with the former. Look, he did those. Wall was out, even though I don't think he plays necessarily. Those guys provide you with a win combo, but talent is talent, right? And Roy Hachimura a rookie, so I'm not putting too much on Bradley Beal. But again, if we're talking about him going to the Nuggets, right? You can't sit here and say, okay, what he did in extreme situation, or not extreme, but unused situation with all those injuries, and he's the most talented dynamic player on the team. You can't then take that and just say and inject that into the Nuggets and say, well, he's up and coming, blah, blah. Well, no, he played in a different context with the Wizards where he had no one around him, right? A Bradley Beal with the ball less in his hand. Can he play off ball? Yeah, he can play off ball. He can shoot. Yeah. He's a good player. But again, they're going to get abused. Defensively, they're going to get abused. Like him versus Gary Harris. Gary Harris fits a purpose, especially when he came back from the injury, right? Gary Harris had spurts where he looked like a really good defensive player in the bubble, right? And I know last year's issues, like he didn't trust his offense, whatever. He had those issues, whatever, at the end of last season. But Beal, like, I'm just finding, again, how do players complement each other? And when we look at Bradley Beal, we have to discount that 30% or the 30 points a night off of 45% shoot. We have to discount that because you're coming to a different team. So again, God knows, I got you. I agree 1,000%. If you get me to the finals, because that's a win now team, I'm doing it 100%. But if you're not convinced,
the only problem with your defense,
you make a good point. I'm going to say you make a good point. Well, at the same time, you can't say also I'm not trading Michael Porter Jr. for Bradley Beal as if, okay, granted, Michael Porter Jr. might be a better fit. That's fine, but the way
I agree with you. I changed it up again.
Okay. So That's what
you just like war, son. I feel you, son. You like war, son. Like, I'm only joking with you. I agree with you 1,000%.
Fine. Okay, that's
the
game.
These dumbass Wizards.
For all I know, Beal may not even be a good fit with the Nuggets. I just don't like the point that Michael Porter Jr. You wouldn't trade Michael Porter Jr. for Bradley Beal as if Michael Porter Jr. is a better player.
I wouldn't do it.
That's
Yeah, he got picked on defensively. They couldn't even keep him on the court.
You talking about MPJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had in the Clippers he showed better defense against the Clippers, but there were times where he was getting picked on. But again, I brought this up, God. I said the back issue scares me. I hate it because that's not a player I look at, especially when you have a congenital back issue like that. I think his sister's like, it's like even worse for a sister, something like that. Some crazy issue with her, right?
Bro,
that's not a guy's gonna be averaging mid 30 minutes a night, bro. Like again, that's the thing about like I agree with you 1,000%. But again, when you look at an MPJ just scoring wise, as they like to have these long wings who can 3-and-D. Obviously, the defense it's come and go with MPJ, but they seem to work better with that. And also, the Nuggets have been a team, I believe, outside of.
I agree.
They're a team that they struggled with.
It's totally valid. I agree with what you're saying. He is a good third scoring option at Denver, but I'm never gonna say, that hey, I will never trade Michael Porter Jr. for Donovan Mitchell because as if Michael Porter Jr. is a better player than Donovan Mitchell either. Like it's somebody I have to defend him. I'm like, wait a minute, this is he's a Michael Porter Jr. You want to compare it to Cam Reddish or another third scoring option? Hey, that's fair game, no problem.
I think the only problem with your defense was who can actually defend LeBron and all this. If you trade Jeremy Grant,
Jeremy Grant,
taking LeBron.
See, this is what I like. See, I don't like this, man. LeBron James, as good as he played in the plays, he was fantastic. The main guy is AD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when LeBron's got a full head of steam,
LeBron James had game 4 or 5 against the Heat. I can't remember, or 3 or 4, whichever one it was, where AD had 15 points over 6 for 9 shooting. LeBron James almost damn near had a triple-double.
Exactly.
And still won.
If
AD is not playing at AD, bro, AD literally, because they didn't have any front court guys to properly defend AD, this guy was getting these guys in foul trouble, was going to the line. AD is a problem, right?
No.
LeBron James, don't get me wrong, LeBron James is a problem too. I'm not taking anything from LeBron James.
I agree.
His passing was some of the best passing. I don't even like LeBron James, but his passing in the playoffs, it was beautiful to watch.
But you could say who's guarding AD. Though. You know who's going to guard AD.
But I guarantee you take AD out of that Lakers team, they don't go to the playoffs.
Oh no! We already seen it.
That's why I get mad, because I think it's media narrative. I'm not saying you guys are brainwashed, whatever, but people, they immediately went to, LeBron James was an MVP. I'm like, bro, I watched every game, right? AD tired out teams. You know what crazy about AD? AD's like a
AD was the monster. AD was the monster.
It's the thing that the cops used to break into like a door. Like he's literally like a, not Trojan horse, but he basically breaks down the wall where he gets some of your better. Because think about this, he was getting guys like Iguodala, right? And Iguodala had spurts for the Heat where his defense was old school Iguodala, right? But he was getting.
He was Batman's utility belt.
He abused PJ Tucker. Abused. It was. Al Morey saw that little small ball blueprint and threw that shit out, bro. Because PJ Tucker could not hold AD down low. The Blazers got mollywopped because AD was abusing them. AD is a problem. Now, again, I do disagree slightly. I think that LeBron James did have players that fit his style of play, right? He likes a high pick and roll, pass it to perimeter players, right? KCP, Kyle Kuzma at times, Danny Green at times. He had the shooters, right? The requisite shooters to at least get to the playoffs, I think. Now, would they have gotten deep in playoffs? No. But AD, people underestimate how – bro, AD had a game where he went 7 for 8 in the quarter, and it was literally like, when the hell is this dude gonna stop scoring? It was like Goku, bro. Like,
hey, Guillermo, I totally agree with you. This is my thing. We talking about Bradley Beal gets traded to the Denver Nuggets. for the pieces that they're losing.
Yeah.
What's the center's going to guard AD, but who is literally going to be able to stick LeBron if he wants to post up the game?
You don't have no Jeremy Grant. I mean, you try to pick up somebody, but again, like Mark brought up, you're gonna get abused in your backcourt, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm agreeing with you. You're gonna get abused in that backcourt.
What about Golden State? What I'm hearing a lot. Golden State's being talked about that they're gonna. People are saying that they're gonna beat the Lakers this season.
I think it's narrative though, because think about this, right? I'm sorry, that Lakers defense, I think is one of the best defenses I've ever seen. Now, obviously, the bubble, that stuff, it may not be the same next year, but
right.
I was covering each and every
moment, like you always say. How about that? I say it's possible that we might be prisoners of the moment too.
Right, no, agreed 1,000,000,000%. For
sure.
I don't think the Warriors have ever faced an aggressive zone defense like that. Now, you go back to the Warriors' top plays, right? Remember, they used to run the elevator play, and they stopped kind of running. And they run a lot of. They basically ran Steph Curry. And by the way, this is why I think Steph Curry is one of the greatest point guards of all time, because literally his usage went down right after Mark Jackson left. Right, he became more of an off-ball player, right, and people literally forgot that he was a point guard. People literally forget how good of a point guard on ball Steph Curry was. But I don't think the Warriors have ever faced a defense as good as now. If I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm getting this wrong historically, I'm not sure that the Warriors have ever played a defense where driving to the basket is going to be an issue because they have two men. Usually, when in the beginning of games, they play a lot of Dwight and AD, and then they mismatch JaVale, AD, and other guys and stuff. Guys with size who could go out to the perimeter. Caruso, KCP played good defense. Danny Green and Spurs played okay defense. They got guys who could basically run out to perimeter in a zone and then collapse on you if you try to drop. And one other thing too. Now they re-signed him, but Rondo was. I don't know what to put on Rondo. The threes was disgusting. But do y'all remember when Rondo was playing zone breaker against the Heat, where he was catching the ball at the foul line? And then he would drive and either lay it up, float it up, or then throw it to AD for the alley-oop. That he had no answer for that, bro. Like, I've never seen such smart basketball. Honestly, they have a lot of talent, but I'm telling you, I'm not sure that the Warriors have ever played a defense that smart and that adaptive before. You know what I mean?
Look, I think with the Lakers, if the Heat stayed healthy and had Bam and Dragic, I think it would have gone to 7 games and they possibly could have won it. I think I
asked you this question, right? So when Bam came back, right? Do you think that Bam kind of threw the Heat a little, and Dragic came back? Do you think he kind of threw the rhythm that the Heat had? Now, Game 6 was going to be tough.
Bam was a shell of himself.
Thank you. And the funny thing is that now Kelly Olynyk, because I covered this, the first and second game where he played major minutes, right? He had like 15 points, 17 points, whatever, and he was taking some bad shots. Then the next really good game he had, I was like, I think it was Game 5 where they won. I said they need to run Kelly Olynyk again because from the outside, the Lakers had issues. Remember, AD switched on to Butler, right? And Kelly Olynyk had who? Caruso. Kelly Olynyk had a lot of open shots. Remember, they were hounding Duncan Robinson. They made sure that Duncan Robinson was not getting that little, that little the little handoff play that Bam does, where he hands it off to Duncan Robinson top of the key and he sets the pick, and Duncan Robinson gets that open three from the top of the key. They were making sure that Duncan Robinson wasn't getting off, but Tyler Hero had open shots, and your boy Kelly Olynyk in I think it was Game 4, Game 5 had a lot of open shots. He did really well. I think Bam Adebayo, I might get killed for this. I think he hurt them. I think he threw them off the rhythm they had.
And he wasn't fully healthy.
He wasn't feeling. No. Yeah, I'm not. I'm saying he wasn't
forced himself back. He wanted to play, but he wasn't. He was hurt. The same with Dragic.
And Dragic too, bro. Oh my gosh, man. Oh,
I'm telling you, if that Miami team get Giannis, it's over. The East is locked down for 4 or 5 years. If that Miami team go out and get Giannis,
so this is all right. So this goes back to God Moses Elijah's point, right? Giannis is one of my favorite players to watch, right? But that Heat, they have their starting lineup. Their offense is predicated on guys who can shoot. Now, obviously, Butler's not the great shooter. Butler's the do-it-all kind of guard, right? The mid-range, drive to the basket. He did a lot of facilitation, right, for that team. I think he averaged like 6 assists this year or something like that, right? You bring in a guy like Giannis, right? What is it about the Heat team You're gonna kill me because I'm still thinking is something weird about Giannis. Because like if he doesn't improve his shooting, you trade a Duncan. You trade guys who are really complementary to.
No, I don't think they trade for him. I think they just take him in free agency. I don't see.
Oh, in 2 years,
Riley giving up anything for him.
Right.
They're gonna have to give up something. He's not going for free.
Unless it's a sign.
No, but he's saying that if he just wastes a free agency, waste a free agent 2 years, 2 years, 2 seasons, whatever.
I feel like the way the NBA is going today. I feel like the way the NBA is going today is everything sign and trade. That's what I feel like the NBA is today.
Yeah.
In terms of
right, because he wants that 5th year, right? So
in terms of high profile players like that, you're gonna have to give up draft picks in a player, 2 or 3 players, four first round picks. You know, like the same thing as AD.
AD, man, damn! If the Knicks, I wish the Knicks.
Would you guys consider if Brandon Ingram looks to want to get out of New Orleans?
I would love Brandon Ingram. I'm only scared about the blood clots, but I want Brandon Ingram
absolutely
badly, man.
Would you do?
I like Brandon Ingram on the Lakers. They were just misusing. I knew that was gonna happen. That he was gonna lead that Lakers team. And he was gonna blow. I knew it. The way, because remember, this is a dumbass Lakers. They're talking about mismatch between the front office and the coaches. The Lakers, Brandon Ingram is more of a mid-range player, right? He can space out, shoot, right? But his bread and butter is playing mid-range, post up, driving to the basket, right? You have a guy, who's a bum, the bum coach, Walton. I had up thinking Austin Crochet. Why the hell am I thinking Austin Crochet? Luke Walton. I don't know what the hell's going on in my brain. He wanted to play more like the Warriors, right? Run and gun, hit the small ball, hit the 3, right? Magic and Pelinka literally said, "Yo, we are drafted. We want to play more mid-range. We want to be a little bit more gritty." It's like those. They literally mismatches. I said, once Brandon Ingram leaves that Lakers team, any team that plays to his strengths, he's going to be nasty. And look what happened.
Do you think he's going to want to stay in New Orleans with Giannis, or with Giannis?
Now, I feel like this though.
I got a theory, man. I feel like if Detroit lands LaMelo Ball with Luke Kennard, it's possible that Brandon Ingram might end up in Detroit.
Oh. So if Ball goes to Detroit, they got Luke, and you saying that Ball attracts Brandon Ingram to Detroit?
No, not yet. I think he has to play a year first and see what he can do. I don't think he can just straight out of the draft.
I think they're going to try to sign him. I think because
you don't think the Pelicans will match that? Because remember, Zion is no one knows what he is, man. Like he gives you flashes, but that's a guy that made
his career
maybe injury prone.
He's fat. He was like 290.
Yeah, 296.
Like, he's getting his money and he's eating. He does. I don't think he cares.
He was at the
shape at all.
Bro, put like this. I think his hormones are out of control because both his parents are just freak athletes. But bro, you in the NBA, man, you have expert cooks. You literally could lose a lot of weight, bro. You could keep the weight off. Like too much muscle, muscle bound. So I think that they might be scared. Like, yo, we don't know what we got in Zion, and we need this proven player in Brandon Ingram. So they might match that. I don't know if Detroit. I don't know
the Knicks are going to make an offer. The
Knicks better make an effort offer. All right, so let me ask you guys
this. He says, you know what? I want out of New Orleans. I want out of here. I want to go to New York, and I got to work a sign and trade. Well, what are we giving up? That's the problem. They're going to want the house if that's the case.
That's true. They also want a house. I know
they're
talking about Zach LaVine. They want a house for Zach LaVine
this year. They're going to want Mitch or RJ, and they're going to want a couple more picks.
Yeah. I think Pelicans are trying to match whatever.
I give up 827 Knox and then maybe the 2023 Dallas pick for him. But I'm not giving up RJ or Mitch. You want to put Brandon Ingram with RJ and Mitch.
Knox 827. Who else again?
Maybe just 827 and Knox, not even the Dallas pick. Because if he puts in, I want to go to New York, New Orleans don't have any leverage.
They want more, man. That's too. I think that's too little for Brandon.
What, 827 and Knox?
Knox ain't.
He's not pushing it.
We think Knox is high. I don't think the league thinks Knox is that high, bro.
But OKC want Knox. I seen Detroit want Knox.
Man, you hear all these rumors all the time, bro. I remember 2 years ago, everybody wanted Vonleh, and we couldn't even trade him for a bag of peanuts. Like We got nothing for Vonleh. So those are just rumors. But hey, let me ask you guys the last question because everybody's getting tired. I ain't trying to keep you guys here too long. Give me your dream top 5 or your dream starting 5 Knicks going into the season. So whatever trades, explain your trades, explain if you're gonna draft who you're drafting, and give me your starting top 5 for the Knicks. Starting with Teddy.
Oof.
This is a Knicks, ain't your bum ass Bengals, but you know, let's you could trade. You could.
I don't want to hear nothing about football when you talk about the Jets. But so I'm gonna go with with no trades. Okay, let's be realistic.
Bro, you can make trades. You can make trades if you want. But realistic trades.
Realistic.
Free agency and everything too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, realistically, Frank as starting point guard, Vassell at the 2.
That's a hell of a defense.
People gonna kill you for that, man.
RJ at the 3, Jeremy Grant at the 4, and Mitch at the 5.
That's a top 5 defense in the league right there.
How much you paying Jeremy Grant?
I give him I give him since he's young, I give him a 4-year deal.
How much?
Everybody's gonna probably give him 3 years. That's a great question. 4 years, 40.
What?
Hey,
he's taking $10 million a year from the bum ass Knicks. Are you crazy?
Man, if we throw him 15 a year, and
if you suck, you got to pay a premium. If you suck as a team, you got to pay a premium for even role players.
So 4 years, 60 million. That's
4 years, 80. He'd be looking
80. Oh no, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
Jeremy Grant.
I know, but it's the only way we get him here.
No, that's not. I'm not paying him 20.
Like even Van Vliet, we might have to pay 25 if we're getting him here. And that's not.
Yeah, that's Van. That's something.
I ain't paying shit for him.
Van Vliet and Jeremy Grant 2. No. But I say 4 years, 60. I'll throw 4 years because 3 years in an option.
All right, that will be a good defensive team, man. I don't know if they're playoff bound. I think you got to improve your point guard position, but
and I would say if we drafted Kira, that'd be something different, though.
If you drafted Kira, yes. If you did draft Kira, you might. That's an interesting team, I'll say the least. What about you, God? God looks angry as hell, man.
No, I'm not mad. No.
He's disgusted with that team.
Sorry, man. I'm thinking real. I have to really. You know, I think I take these questions serious. Like, I'm like, man, I have to really answer that question. It's not easy because I don't feel like the Knicks got too many
assets,
choices.
Let's start with who you're gonna draft first, because at least you had that in your power. Who you gonna draft first?
I mean, can I get a James Wiseman? If he drops, I'll take James Wiseman.
Right, so now you got James Wiseman, and then you got what are you gonna do with Mitch or Randall?
You got to trade Mitch.
I'm trading Mitch.
You're trading Mitch. So are you gonna trade Mitch for what? CP3? They don't need it.
Golden State for the second pick.
Ooh,
man, I'm gonna say I'll trade Mitch if I can. Just like for today, right? Let's just make this. This is just my idea for today. Tomorrow it will change. But let's just for this idea for today, right? I'll have James Wiseman as my center, and as my small forward, I'll have Isaac Okoro. If I could trade Mitch for a pick, if I could get an Isaac Okoro as my small forward.
So you're getting hold up. So you trade up, but what are you trading? Because you can't just give up.
I trade Mitch in my 27th for a fifth for the top for the
like a fourth. You need a fourth, so you get Isaac, because I think Cleveland wants to take Isaac Okoro. So
okay, I can't get Isaac Okoro, so then I'm gonna.
Oh no! I'm just saying you got to trade that to the Bulls, right? Because the Bulls are fourth, because you want to skip the Cleveland Cavaliers because they want. From rumors, they want to take Isaac Okoro, so you got to get to the Bulls for fourth. And give them Mitch and Mitch, your 8, and what, your 27?
They gotta send back something. Yeah. They gotta give me either Markkanen or Wendell Carter.
Nah, they're not gonna give up that. I mean,
because where are you gonna put Mitch in then? Is Mitch gonna start and they can put Wendell on the bench?
That's a good. Wendell.
So he's going out. One of them are going out.
Yeah, they probably give you marketing. I think marketing is kind
I
of.
take marketing.
I'm gonna say I like you give me RJ and James Wiseman. I feel like I'm doing all right. That's a good.
So who fills out the rest of your roster? RJ at 2, James Wiseman at your 5. You trade Mitch in your 8th and your 27 for Okoro.
No. I'm not trading the 8th pick. Who's my point guard? I'm gonna just say let's just say Alpha Payton. Alpha Payton's my point guard for now. I have Alpha Payton, RJ, James Wiseman as my center. I still have Julius Randle for the moment until I can figure that out. And then I'll probably just have Kevin Knox for now until I can figure that situation out. But if I can have Wiseman and RJ, I mean, I love to get a Killian Hayes or RJ Hampton. I mean, I would love to do that, but I don't think we got it.
Hey Moses, I like you a lot, but Elfrid Payton, no.
Yeah, you could have just said trade.
The thing is, at least Alpha Payton can pass the ball. Look, Alpha Payton's just gonna pass the ball, right? That's all he's gonna.
He's gonna pass to Randall. He gave Randall 26% of his
pass.
passes.
Have no space in it.
Okay, look, he passes it
next year.
You could just literally take the 27. If you don't like Knox,
I like Trey Jones.
I like into the teams. You like who?
Now, if I could wait, if you give me, I'll take Trey Jones at 27. If I can get Trey Jones and RJ as the backcourt, I'll be happy with that. Give me Trey Jones.
Trey Jones, Wiseman, RJ Barrett, Knox, and who's your 3?
And Knox is my 3 for now.
Oh, Knox. He's gonna get abused.
I know. I mean,
I'm sorry. Then Wiseman is your 5. Who's your 4? You said Randall, right?
Randall's gonna be my 4.
Randall's your 4. Woo. All right, man. Yes, this is fit. Why are people getting so mad? Dogs. We literally there is no news about the Knicks. Literally, is the same people on Twitter recycling the same BS rumors. I'm trying to give some life into our terrible team. So, and everybody's sitting here, oh, this is terrible. We have no idea what's going to happen in the draft. So let's just see now. I
just want to say that again, though. Trey Jones, RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, Julius, and James Wiseman. That's my 5.
All right.
Is that terrible?
The Wiseman thing might be tough because Wiseman.
I agree, but I would.
Wiseman going to be tough. But if he falls.
If I could have it my way.
If you can have it your way. All right. And then last but not least, Joe Madden.
All right. First I'm starting off with I'm trading Mitch 27 and 38 to Charlotte for the 3rd pick, and I'm taking LaMelo. I'm keeping the 8th pick, and I'm taking Onyeka Okongwu with the 8th pick.
I'm sorry. How are you trading for LaMelo? I missed that.
I'm trading Mitch 27 and 38. I'm passing maybe the $23 pick if they need it to go up to Charlotte and take LaMelo. I'm signing Joe Harris.
That's your 2?
I'm drafting Onyeka Okongwu with the 8th pick. So my team is LaMelo, Joe Harris, RJ, Bertans, and Onyeka Okongwu at 5.
How much you paying Bertans? 15?
15, 16, 3 years, 4 years. And then Joe Harris, 15 too. So you're getting 2 shooters. Because the only way to build this team around LaMelo was put shooters.
It's just that defense. That's the only thing.
LaMelo at the 1, Harris at the 2, RJ at the 3, Bertans at the 4, and Onyeka Okongwu at the 5.
So, all right.
So you have your point guard, your small forward, and your center for the future.
So here.
I would think of Malik Beasley instead of Harris too, but is the great shooter, but is no defense. Harris at least you get a little bit of defense. Or if we couldn't get Bertans, I'd pay the money to get Grant.
Jeremy Grant.
Defense.
Yeah, give him like 15, 16. So I'm doing a CP3 trade first and foremost. Because I think I would see my way. I'm thinking it's a salary dump because we're probably one of the only teams who could take that. I don't think contenders are in for him to get to trade big assets for him. if we can get a Chris CP3 without giving up any of our first round draft picks, I'm pulling that trigger. Now, would it take I mean, obviously salaries and stuff will have to match. So Randall will probably be in there. CP3 is what, 40 something, 40? So Randall's what, 18?
What does OKC want for CP3? That's what we don't know.
But this is what I'm thinking, that if it's a salary dump. Now, obviously OKC, they have a history of getting picks. Like they're big on
fleece
picks and developing. Right. So, but in my world, in a pandemic driven world, where they're trying to get rid of CP3 and just like, look, we just gotta get rid of the salary off the books. We're trying to be clean. If I could do a CP3 trade, I'm doing it.
I hear they want the 8th pick. Is that true?
Probably.
They want the 8th.
Yeah, that's why I mean, like James Harden, man.
I don't know about that. I'm saying if they don't do that. All right, screw CP3 because I
heard that.
Forget it. I get the
If they
CP3.
don't get the right assets for him, they're going to keep him because he'll help develop their young players. The same reason we want him.
He did. Yeah. But I'm only thinking that they're trying to truly rebuild because they already got rid of Donovan. Now, I don't know the real reason why they got rid of Donovan.
Adams is going to go and Gallinari's going to be gone. So and then
Gallinari's a free agent.
What free agents are going to go
next year, right?
OKC?
Right.
So they might keep his $40 million and use him the same reason we want him, just to help develop the young players.
Right. But if they want
top five, though,
if they truly want to clean house, if they truly want to, Giandrezzi, yo, bro, all these guys talking trash. Come into the chat and join, man. Before we leave, man. Giandrezzi's talking all this trash, man.
And we talking about realistic 5.
I'm probably getting killed, man. For all I know, I'm probably getting killed.
We need logic in here.
The Alfred Payton one was crazy.
I love how Knicks fans talk, and it's like, oh, y'all talking trash, and they bring up the ideas like dogs. You want to draft who? So let me just start
realistic. I got to make it realistic. It's not that I want Alfred Payton. I just got to make it realistic, just like that CP3 situation. If you want CP3, cool, but you can't want an 8th.
I was saying only if he was a salary dump, but there was rumors that he's not going to be used as a salary dump. So I was always saying that you do have a salary dump, but I'll drop CP3. I'll just do this. I'm drafting Vassell at 8. I'm taking my 38. I'm taking Knox, and I'm trading up from the 27th to the teens to get a Kara Lewis, right? Okay. So I got him at the point guard position. I got my point guard, I got my 2 guard, I got RJ Barrett, I got Mitchell Robinson, and I'm either signing a Jeremy Grant, which is going to cost a little money. I'm not sure about Bertans. Oh, my bad. I forgot another player. So this is what I'm gonna do. Randall could eat one. I don't really care where Randall goes, but I'm gonna sign either Jeremy Grant if I get him, or I'm gonna bring in Christian Wood.
Oh, I forgot about him.
And I want a space big man to play along with Mitchell Robinson. And I want two athletic big men who can run the floor, and one guy could space out the floor. So Christian Wood, Mitchell Robinson, you got Kara Lewis, Vassell, and RJ Barrett. So you got development and RJ Barrett intangibles. You got Vassell with defense 3-and-D. You got Kara Lewis, who's a guard who does need some some development, but he can roll. He could shoot. He could shoot from the 3. He can slash to the basket. Even though it's only one crossover move, but he got a little crossover move to him. And he has talent around him. He has Mitchell Robinson who could take his lobs and that stuff. You got Christian Wood, could space out the floor, defend. I think he could be coming to his own. I know last year's the only time he really grew was either him or Jeremy Grant. Now, if you want to play more small ball or smaller with your 4 position, obviously I think you probably go with Jeremy Grant. Or if you want to have an interesting combination in your front court with 2 big men, and then hopefully Mitch Robinson develops a shot. But if he doesn't, it is what it is. And him and Christian Wood. Yeah, go ahead.
See, that's my thing about Mitch. I love Mitch.
C-Max said that team is trash.
Like I love Mitch, but is he going to be worth the money we're going to have to pay him if he doesn't? If he can't shoot from 15 or 10 or 15 feet, even if he can stretch out a little bit, then I don't mind paying him. But he's going to want upwards of $15 million a year. Look at who his agent is. His agent's fleece teams with contracts.
Right.
So I'm afraid about if Mitch doesn't do it this year, I'm looking to trade him and get something back for him. Because
you're gonna. I mean, the guy who's averaging like 22 points a night, 9 for 7. Same, and Christian was averaging 20-some minutes a night too, but he's averaging like 15, 16 points a game. close to 30-some% from three. Now, the thing with Christian Wood is that he does not have the production. Now, Rick Ward came here a few nights ago and was saying how, he had this, he came into the draft 15 pounds overweight. His coach told teams not to draft him, and little spurts here and there he produced. So there's danger. But yeah, and yeah, Sammy Sosa. I'm not. You could bring in another guard to help develop his game. You could bring in a DJ Augustin to run the starting team, and then bring Carol Lewis off the bench. But I'm definitely looking for a point guard, at least a point guard that I could slowly ease into that role.
What would you guys think about getting 2 point guards, getting Halliburton at 8, putting them at the 2, and getting like Kira or Terry or somebody trade up to put them at the 1? Because I think Halliburton, if you put a nice point guard beside him that can penetrate, I think
that's why he fits with the Hawks.
He gives passing, his shooting, his defense.
Right.
If you get a penetrator beside him, even if you get the likes of, I don't know about Cole Anthony, can penetrate, but not efficient. I would like Halliburton.
Next stream, we're going to talk about Cole Anthony because I need to be convinced that Cole Anthony, because people who like Cole Anthony.
I hate Cole Anthony.
Thank you.
First guard. But he might.
He's not that good. He's not that good. He's not. Did you see him, bro? When he was healthy for UNC?
He was overrated.
First game where he went off for what, 30-something points, whatever. Other than that, watching it, I'm like, all right, he does a lot of stuff where like, I don't know how to call it, but it's like the college layup where you kind of throw your body and then like just throw the ball like for that layup. I'm like, dogs, that's gonna get abused in the NBA. You're gonna get blocked in the NBA.
You got to think though, the NBA is gonna have space, and like he had the worst spacing in college and the worst.
He did, yeah. He had trash players.
Yeah, and then you have a bigger court too in the NBA, so he's gonna have that space.
But so when we talk about guys like comparable guys like Dame Lillard, do we see the handles like a Dame Lillard? Do we see the scoring pedigree? Do you see the shooting like Dame Lillard and Cole Anthony? I don't see it. I see a slow guard who I think he's gonna come off the bench. I think he's like a bench player. I don't see.
I can see him going to the Celtics and then after a year or two being an all-star with them, because that's what the Celtics always. The Heat always seem to get somebody.
Steve Mack is crazy.
Where does Cole Anthony play on the Celtics? But you know what, guys? Hold on.
He comes off the bench. They have no bench. They have no scoring off the bench. He comes off the bench.
They have that other guard too, the one with the
Wanamaker.
No, not Wanamaker. Light skin dude. He killed the Knicks when he played us. Light skin dude. He has like braids.
Carson Edwards. Who?
Really quick, really fast.
Romeo Langford. No.
Hold on. Let me look.
Last year.
For what team?
For the Celtics. Hold up. I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Romeo Langford, no.
No, not Langford.
Carson Edwards.
Yeah, Carson Edwards.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, he might not be. I just know he killed the Knicks, but. Yeah,
would you guys consider trading back with Boston, giving them like 8 and 38 to get 14?
Oh, hold on. G and Drizzy's here. Hello, G. How you doing, bro? Yo, G, you can hear us? He's probably taking a dump or something. I don't know. He's in his car, I think. But G, let us know when you get on, man, because we need a lot of comedians in his chat. Yeah, everybody's killing us, but no one wants to put. Where's everybody else's suggestions, man? Even Mark, good night. Mark, who's Mark saying some of the crazy stuff? Who's Mark been saying crazy stuff about KP for years? And he's acting like he's the most logical person.
I would love to hear his starting five.
Are you kidding me? Trade back for KP. Man, stop. We ain't get, KP is done.
He wants to trade back for KP?
No, I'm just saying what Mark would say. He would not trade back. He would try to find a way to trade KP back to the Knicks. And
I don't want.
Yo, G, what up? Yo, whoa. Yo, look at this troll right here, man. What up, G?
Yo, what's good?
Look at this dude. So who's your starting five? You trolling Yo, this dude put all this ish in the chat, bro. Let's get it. Who's your starting five, bro?
All right, so look. I'm gonna go with.
Why'd you say some bullshit right now? Let's go.
Right?
Who's your five?
I think you cut off a little bit, G. We get you now. We get you now.
Got it.
Nah, I can't hear y'all though. I hear mad static. That's all I hear right now.
Yeah, I think you got like a little it's like a little connection issue. But if you want to, you can just type in the chat who you got, man. The next time you come on. Oh, we can hear you now. Oh, we can see you now. Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So who's your starting five, man?
Yeah, I hear y'all. Mitch at the 5.
Mitch at the 5.
Doing whatever I can to get Randall the hell out of here. I don't care what I gotta do. Randall, whatever I gotta do to get him off the team, he's out. I don't give a damn what I gotta do.
Okay, so who's your 4? Who's your 4?
I'm going with either.
Wait, who's your 4? Who's your 4?
Vassell. If I got to, I'm gonna try to go get Bertans for whatever it takes to get him. But
15, 16.
Right now, the
15,
4 is open because Randall gotta go. I don't care.
Okay.
Right. And who's your 3? You said Vassell?
RJ. Vassell or RJ. They can play either or. It doesn't matter. They play 2 or 3. It don't even matter.
And who's your point guard?
I'm going with. And then look, before y'all kill me, yo.
See, he talk all this shit. Hold on, he talk all this ish, but he gonna pick a bum ass player and watch.
Listen.
Going Van Vliet.
Listen. I'm going with Frank at the PG, bro. Frank at the PG.
Thank you. Thank you.
This dude talking about, hold on. This dude talking all this shit. And his lineup ain't much different from, I think somebody said Bertans already. I think
I said Jeremy Grant at the 4.
Somebody said Frank. You said Frank Teddy. And
I said Frank.
He trying to come in here like he's saying the most most intelligent top 5. So we got Frank at the PG.
I think I got a better top 5 than him.
Well, that's just probably going to happen. Frank is probably going to be starting. He's a Tibbs guy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Listen.
He's going to be.
When Frank was playing,
no matter what rookie we bring in, Tibbs don't start no rookie.
Exactly.
Even if LaMelo have to sit in the bench for the year.
Because look at Frank when he played in France, yo. He played for a coach that understood how he plays basketball. He's not this go-to scorer, 20 points a game type of player. He's a player that wants to play defense. He understands get the ball to other players that can shoot, like Fournier, Gobert on the pick and roll, and then Frank will give you 11, 12 points at a time. He's not going to be this 25-point scorer, bro.
Well, the thing is, if he can develop his 3, he's the perfect. He can play at the 2, the perfect 2.
Exactly, because
if he can just get up to 36, 37%, him at the 2 would be nice.
And let's just be real. And let's be real right now. We're trying to build a culture right now.
Don't listen to G. Y'all gotta remember this dude G talk all this shit.
But listen, everything I'm saying though, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're going
our defense is top 5 in the league.
You're not going to try to trade up from the 27 to get a point guard? You're not going to try to bring in
and the reason
Rondo at least?
Why I wouldn't do that? The reason why I wouldn't do that, bro, is because in my eyes, in my opinion, personally, every single point guard in this draft, they all have a huge red flag on them, bro.
They do. I agree.
And so my thing is, why would I'm not going to trade up from the 27th, and I could just get a player at the 27th that could give me an impact the same way that. Honestly, I don't think Kira's going to be this top 10 superstar.
Nah, he's not.
What about
I'll be perfectly fine if I. Who?
What about Trey Jones? Trey Jones used to play ball with RJ Barrett in Duke.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll be fine
with
Trey Jones, bro. If I go with Trey Jones at 27, I will be fine with that. I wouldn't.
Trey Jones is simple.
Who's better, Trey Jones or Frank Ntilikina?
Frank, because he's in the NBA. He's still
I'm going with Frank, bro.
You got to see what Trey
he plays NBA basketball.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got one more in the
I think I got a better starting point guard than you. All right, I'm going to be honest. Trey Jones.
What's good, bro? What's good, man? Hope you can hear me. How do you feel about these bum-ass picks that G and Drizzy made, bro? Can you hear us? Yo, Chuck, can you hear us? He might be frozen. Damn, he might be frozen.
Yo,
Chuck, you can hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about G and Drizzy's bum ass lineup? So he got Frank Ntilikina.
I don't really care. I don't really care for his lineup too much, but we all got our opinions.
Who do you got for your starting 5, man? If you got
a
dream starting 5 is off to you.
I know some people gonna hate mine too, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Everyone's saying that we should get Christian Woods, which I agree with. So that means we have to do something with Randall. I don't know if that Jazz deal was legit, but trade for Conley. Conley, sign Joe Harris, Move RJ to the small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Sign Christian Woods. Start Mitch. If you don't want to start Conley, go ahead and give the keys to Frank. Bring Conley off the bench. Hopefully, he can help develop Knox a little bit more coming off the bench.
So I apologize.
If you're bringing in Conley, I want picks.
Who's your two again? My bad, bro. Who's your two?
Sign Joe Harris.
Oh, Joe Harris. Now, I'm sorry. So you got Conley, Joe Harris, RJ, Mitch of the 5, and who's your 4?
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood. Who you drafting this year at 8?
I would go. I'll stick with the I guess the safe pick with either Vassell or Okoro. One of those.
Because Vassell, if you have Vassell, you don't have to pay. I mean, unless you don't want to start Vassell.
You won't have to pay Harris.
You don't have to pay Harris, yeah. Because Harris I think he's a little overrated to be paying 15, 16.
This is my reason for picking Harris, because I think he's still gonna put up those good numbers. I'm one of those hopeful and wishful Knicks that maybe by the trade deadline we could package up Joe Harris and something else to get Devin Booker.
You're not getting Devin Booker. You got to give part of your soul to get Devin Booker. He ain't going nowhere.
Hey man, that's what I said. I'm a hopeful.
Oh, okay, you're hopeful. Okay. In Hopeland, you know what I like? Y'all are killing us in the chat. I don't know if Alan's killing us in the chat. But all y'all do is killing us in the chat, including G and Drezzy. And y'all came up with some of the same liners or some crazy. Come on, bro. Come on, G. You talking about your lineup is much more greater than any of our lineups, bro.
I ain't gonna cap you, bro. I heard a lot of ridiculous talk today, bro. It was more than usual today, bro. It was at another level today.
What was crazy? We were just talking about MPJ and the Nuggets. We had different opinions and actually agree with God Moses Elijah. What we were talking about in a draft? Who we draft? This draft, everything's you know what the funny thing is? This draft.
Would you guys trade back with Boston? Take their 4 for trade 8 and 38 to get 14, 26, and 30.
The thing about that, the value at 26 and 30.
I'm not giving up Mitch to get the fucking pick.
No, you're not giving up Mitch. You're giving up 8 and 38 for 14, 26 and 30.
My question is, who's our identity?
26 and 27 and go
back.
Wait. Here's my thing with that though.
The only thing is that the 26 and the 30 is not a lot of value. Like the drop off in talent. Like if this is a stacked draft where you had talent,
that's what I mean. You could move them picks to go back up. Take say your point guard like Ira or Tyrell at 14, and then move up and get like Sadiq Bey or somebody back into the lottery.
So why couldn't you just stay at 8 and then take your 38 and your 27 and move up from there to the?
Well, because I don't see us taking like. There's no value in it. I think we could either trade up or trade back. Because we're in a tough situation.
Couldn't you take a 27 and 27, 38 and like a bum ass like DSJ?
Yeah,
and move up from 27 to like the maybe mid-late teams?
I see one where you could move Rondo and 38 to get James Johnson and 17 off Minnesota. If we were to do that, I'm looking at Sadiq Bey if he's there.
And let me just look at mockdraft.net, which is kind of weird. Excuse me. So at 17, they got Tyrese Maxey, Terrell Terry, RJ Hampton, Vernon Carey, Cole Anthony, Jaden McDaniels, Nico Mannion, James Ramsey, Josh Green holiday. Sadiq Bey.
Terry had one of them picks then.
Tyrell Terry might be the pick if you can trade back.
I take him if we trade it back. Yeah, I take him at 17. If we got a wing or a big man at 8.
You're not getting Oubre, yo.
I just want to say one thing real quick. I just want to say that I think with the 27th pick, if you want to get an Ashton Higgins from Kentucky, Trey Jones, Emmanuel Quickly, I think that's what you want to do with the 27th pick. Or if you have an idea of another player like Tyler Bay or whatever, or Jalen Smith.
Desmond Bain, possibly.
Oh, Desmond Bain. That's a cool pick, but it's not necessarily away from the 27th pick.
No. I don't think at all. Even guys like, I don't think it might kill me. A guy like Isaiah Joe, who he had an injury. Salute to Freezer brings up. He did have an injury, foot injury, I believe. So, but this guy was a pure. I mean, he's a big balls type of shooter. Like he'll chuck you.
Putting about the 36% in 10 shots a game with a broken.
Right. Yeah, 34. But I think the first year was 40. But guys, salute to everybody here. You got Giandrezzi's mic sounding like Basuda, so I gotta be out. But I kept you guys here for mad long. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I want to have you guys do this more often. I'm probably gonna have some tomorrow. If you guys are Mets fans, let me know because I definitely want to have something for the Mets to talk about the offseason. I was gonna have it tonight, but I already did this, so I'm gonna probably try it on Monday or Wednesday. But salute to everybody here, man. God bless, man. Again, everybody go to everybody's channels, man. That Ain't Rap Podcast. Marquise Walker, my boy, Clutch B-Ball with his channel, Raw Hebrew Remnant. These are all Knick fans that got great channels, man. Andy N on Sportscaster. Big Freezy, Uncle Freeze up in here. Mark, got a channel now on Sportscaster where we literally, bro, we talked. I think collectively we talked for like maybe 7-8 hours yesterday about Knicks and basketball. It was the most disgusting. After I got off, Teddy Flood was there when we talked.
Yeah, I was there.
I was like, what are we doing? Like, but it was fun, man. We have these conversations like this. But again, go to Sim's channel, MBK, Front 3DL. All these channels, man, is easy to support. But again, I thank you guys for being here. This was fun. But definitely gonna have more of this. Giandrezzi, I want all you trolls who's talking trash about our lineups up in here, man. So we have even better conversations.
Hey, when the light hit them, they changed up, didn't they?
And they change up, right? He gave this bum ass lineup talking about I want Frank Ntilikina. Man, but salute to everybody here, man, and I'll see you guys later, bro.